Yeah, too many colors. Peace. I wanted to say, got the hat yesterday. As you can see it, specially made. Kemet Ray Ma'at, which means Black Sun Justice. So I want to thank you for that. And my wife, she wanted to say something too.
My hat was specially made as well, and it means first to step out of the waters of noon. And I want to say thank you to my aunt forever. Very nice.
Sister Andrea Brunette is in a place to be. How you doing, Senate?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
So you have something to show us today?
Yes, I went on to the product line and I bought 3 shirts and I just wanted to show you all what I got.
Oh, let's see.
Okay, so this is the first one. This is
Ah, the Ankh shirt.
the Ankh shirt. I got it in black and gold, but I think I'm gonna go and get a blue one too.
All right.
Okay, so that's the first one.
All
And
right.
then
The Ma'at. Oh, it looks
this
good in
I don't
blue.
yeah,
All
I don't know.
right.
Yeah, this is the Maat one.
Oh, that's
I
what's
don't know if you
up.
can see.
Yeah, we see it. We
I'm
see
trying.
it.
Can you see it?
Nice bright
And
color, you know.
yeah, I love this. I love this color. I love it. And then the piece de la resistance is my favorite
I'm the best to
one.
meet tonight.
I'm the place to be tonight. Yeah,
That's what's up. Oh, the
there's
best
that
to
on
meet
the sleeve
tonight.
too.
Even on the sleeve.
Tonight,
All right.
even on the
Tonight.
sleeve. I had it. Yeah,
All
this
right.
is the lick right here. So I'll be wearing that on
Oh,
your next live. I will have this one on.
oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. All right.
So
Well,
that's the 3 ones I got.
thank you
Love
very much
them.
for your support. It's appreciated. I'm glad that you like the products.
You're welcome. You're
All
welcome,
right.
and we'll see you on the next live stream.
Okay, I hope you can see this. Civilization started with agriculture. Custom made shirt from my aunt forever, Shaka Indugu. Civilization started with agriculture. This is Curse of Hammurabi, Shaka Indugu, who I support. Civilization started with agriculture.
Hey, this is my unboxing video that I'm doing for the product I bought from my Out Forever's channel. I bought the coffee mug, and here it is. Sorry there's a glare from the screen, but lots of bold, crisp, beautiful colors, inside and out, high quality ceramic. I absolutely loved it. So y'all go check out his website. It's got a lot of fun, fresh designs. And cheers to you, Shaka, and all of your endeavors. Peace.
All right. Hey, brother Donnie Williams. See, you got your mail.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Shock? I was gonna do just I know it's a serious topic, but I was gonna do a little
No, I appreciate that, bro. I'm
unboxing.
glad.
So
I'm glad. Yeah. Live
yeah.
unboxing. Bro, you don't mind if I use this excerpt, like as a clip, my
No,
intro?
no,
Oh,
it's all
thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And for those who wonder, I'm gonna share the link. All right, that's lovely.
Yeah, I got the Heather Gray. Oh man, yeah.
Oh, you got the Kemet shirt as well. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it had that on the back
In the
though.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what's up,
That's
man.
lovely. Oh, thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah. So just letting you know, just coming through, showing some support real quick, man. I'm about to get back into this Netflix film, so just wanted to say peace, man, and thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot, brother.
Okay, all
All
right.
right. Our sister RP is in the place to be. What's up, sister?
Et Sin E. How you doing?
E.T. Senate E. I'm doing Nefer.
Oh, great. Well, I got it today. I was thinking it was coming from France, but then I did the tracking and it was outside actually when I went to check, and here it is.
Oh, that's what's up. It's just like my hat. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Let me do the solo layout. There it is, brothers and sisters. That's
yeah.
what's up.
I really like this. Yeah, so I have have an after school program that I help facilitate. And I'm going to wear this because we're going to start talking about coding. So I'm going to
Okay.
use this as an introduction because this is a code. It's
Mm.
ancient code, but it's still a code. And then we're going to be able to, demonstrate. I'll be able to demonstrate to them the meanings inside each of the, glyphs and stuff. So, but yeah, I was looking online and I was like, this is actually like really good designs. So as soon as I get some more, extra money, I'm gonna get the matching hat and I want to get a Ma'at shirt. But I really like the Kemet one to start with. Yeah, so it's really good, and the prices ain't bad either. So
C'est nous. Ok. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's hope. Let's hope he starts again. Is it? Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Deux. 1, 2. It's not working when I'm talking. No, dang. I'm sorry. It's a bit loud. I'm gonna go to the settings because 25%. Hold on. Gotta get this together. How about now? How about now? How does it sound now? I can hear my voice, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go through the comments. I can hear my voice. I'm saying this on purpose. One, two, and then okay, good. How about hieroglyphic Medu nature, language of Kemet, African culture. You know what's funny is that I knew it's been months. I did not go through the museum artifacts. I'm talking about the pictures because I have a fair bit of videos, and of course I'm planning on going to more museums and have more videos. But for the time being, I'm chilling on the videos because, as you can see, I've uploaded a few lately and they had very little views, and it's really bothering me that I spend so much money to travel the board and go to these museums, and then videos don't get the appreciation they deserve. But I have plenty of pictures, so I want to go through them like I've been doing months back. But actually, out of curiosity, I looked at the last video that I did this way. Now, back then it used to say Kemetic I'm sorry, Kemetic way. I'm gonna get it together. Kemetic spirituality, but I decided to put way of life rather than spirituality. Um, it was a year ago. It was August last year, and I'm surprised. I mean, it's like lately you've seen there was a fair bit of drama. All these people defending molesters and all that. People lying, um, unnecessarily. And as you've seen recently, some people who went at me for being against child molesters, rapists, and pedophiles, you can all witness that they had no smoke for that Hebrew Israelite dude. So the funny thing is that their boss has talked about molestation reports that he was going to talk about. So the same thing that they act like they don't have nothing to do with, here comes their boss who talked about it. And they would not be able to say that that has nothing to do with them because they are on that panel. One of them in particular who is streaming on that panel. But I don't need to say no name anyway. I don't need to put the fair use disclaimer. For the record, every now and then I will do that. So whenever you see Kemetic way of life, hieroglyphic meta nature, and so on, just like the title, I will put the same title. Then understand that it is also a free talk question and answer session. So if you want to, you are free. And I've left the link in the chat. Don't feel like you have to. Just gonna go through some artifacts, that's all. So I don't expect many people because you know how it is when I deal with the men nature. All those people will be like, what about the men who, what about the teaching? I had a few people who left comments who were like, yo, what's up with the teaching? What about the teaching? Some people that I never seen my panel when I was dealing with the men nature, and it's funny because it feels like teaching is just talking about a particular topic. You can teach against rape. You can teach against child molestation. You can teach against pedophilia. But they don't like that, so they come up with those excuses. So let me see who's in a place to be. We have Andrew Burnett who's in a place to be. We have Anonymous and Unidentified who's in a place to be. We have the Bennett who's in a place to be. And I think that's about it. Oh, Donnie Williams also is in a place to be. Okay, so I'm going to use my other computer for the pics. So just gonna plug mic. Oh yeah, I have to share also. I also got that. Okay, I want the sound off. There it is. So I hope you're doing well. And really, I've been doing a lot of cursing lately. I mean, It's funny because I've been online for 19 years, and there was one time when I was interviewed at a radio station, online radio, and I used a profanity because the person said something that really, uh, but anyway, that was like, one time. But in 19 years, at least in English, I wasn't using profanity until the last few months when some people, as you know, made sexual remarks about my 3-year-old daughter and, all kind of things. So, yeah, I do love cursing. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to speak a language that people understand. You know what I'm saying? Now, V. Bennett wrote, oh, that is Tom. Okay, okay. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, thank you for the info. I think it was stated, but I forgot. Let me just check the sound just for the sake of it. Hold on. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share. School is going to resume, so I'm quite happy about that. Looking forward to it. Should be able to share. Okay. So that was the last artifact that I went through a year ago. Those artifacts are from the Louvre Museum, Paris, France. I don't know if I have any close-up. I will see on the next pics. But some of you know, here we have the eye, the throne, and is it A40? Garden reference A40. The seated man with the beard. What you see here is the same that what you see here. It was a shame. I thought I had a... Hold on. Sorry. Baby girl thinks she can spend hours on the phone. You know, she has to understand she works. She works. She goes to work. She goes to school. I almost said work again. She goes to school tomorrow, so now I thought I had a way. I know I have it on the PowerPoint. I thought I had a way to have a pen. Never mind. So do I have any close-up? Oh, that's a full thing here. Oh, and that's funny. Now, this comes from the door of the tomb in the name of a scribe of the army called Senu. I don't know if his name appears, but you hear me say Hotep Senu, Hena Senu, but Senu is a plural of Sen, so it's unlikely that this scribe or Sesh was called Senu. Now, it is circa 1375 BCE. This is 3,000 years old. And it probably comes from Tuna El Gebel. It's probably Jebel, actually. And it's made of limestone. And you have 3 artifacts, numbers, or reference because, well, I wonder why. Well, probably this one here, the stele here, has its own one. But we have 1, 2, 3. I presume that's for those 3 here. Wondering if I'll be able to see his name. I don't see his name. Maybe we'll have his name on that small stele but I don't think I had a picture of that one. There's a glass, as you can see, we can see the reflection, so I couldn't get too close. And at the time, I took these pictures years ago, so there was not too many megapixels. Now here we have Senu. Senu Akpet. Now I don't know if there was an N in between here, but we have D Senu or Redi Senu. I'm puzzled really because Senu is a plural. So maybe it's a homonym that I'm unaware of. Anyway. $8K is for video. Those are pictures. But No, I don't even think 8K existed when I took those pictures. Matter of fact, I think the date will show. (2011). Took those pictures in 2011. Okay. Over 10 years ago. Oh, I did have a close-up of that steel A. Now, for the record, the royal scribe, sorry, the royal scribe Senu adoring two genies. I'm sorry, two funerary genies. Now, this is the same date, of course. And we have the reference here, C282. Oh, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one. I wonder why they wrote two genies, because I would say this is Heru. And that one, unless the name is written somewhere, I wouldn't try to guess, but there is a beard, which is a symbol of somebody that has passed away or that is a deity. Here we have words spoken by the royal scribe, and we have Senu. So, okay, now this time, I mean, earlier, for those who know the miniature, we had the folded cloth for the S sound. Here we have the down arrow. Then we have the N, then we have the, actually we have the vase here, or the pot, which is a bilateral. Then we have the QWERTY, and we have the three strokes, you know. So you know by now, I mean, some of you who study, you know about the, what is it called again? The phonetic complements. I wonder why he was called like that. As far as I know, that's a plural of brother, which is Sen. And you know, here we have the word henna. You hear me say Hotep Senu Henna Senut, and we do have the word henna here. So the same thing here. Seshnesu, about the honorific inversion or honorific transposition. You know, when you're looking for some word, I was doing the class and I was looking for the actual term. I remember honorific inversion because that's what I use the most, but it's also called honorific transposition. In French, we say transposition honorifique. Now here, this individual wears a leopard skin So most likely that's a priest. Maybe the description will say that this is a pyramidion. Doesn't mention it. It says a couple receiving a funerary offering of their parent, a close parent or related parents, circa 1500 to 1400 BC. This is 3,400 years old. Hold on. That's Inpu or Anubis. Color has faded away, but we can see remnants of the red ochre. I'm not going to try to read what we have here because it's not in great condition. The picture is not the greatest either, but the next one is full of color. Yeah. Here, this is a chain ring. We have the Ujat. I'm so used to the Hotep Dinesu or Dinesu Hotep, but here we do have Iret Dinesu, which is similar in terms of the meaning. But I'm not familiar with seeing that expression often. So Iret Dinesu Hotep and Usir Nka Ek Chet Nebet Neferet Wabet NKNE. Now this, I believe, stands for it, which actually means father. It's a word that's quite particular because there's 4 different spellings of it, and this way is one of the spellings. So sometimes, even myself, I happen to read fast and say Tef, but I presume it stands for it. You know. This looks like the Asde, that stands for Setep. The virtue with the arch back, that's Mut, and we have the phonetic complement. And here, the funny thing, this is another spelling of it. Oh, my bad. You have Mut F, okay? Then we have another spelling of it, even though we have the relief, the loaf of bread, and the horned viper. But that's another spelling. And obviously, I will read this it E. Now, I don't know what happened with this one here. Looks like it got chiseled or damaged along the way. But yeah, here we have Sat F, Hat. Oh, I forgot if this glyph stands for Shep. I cannot tell what this one is here. Here we have Sa F, Pet M. Now I don't know what this is. I don't manage to read it. I wonder if this is the G, so that would be Ga, and probably Ga E. Samut E. We will have the. I presume we will have the description after, so we will see if somebody's name is close to that. Over here we have Sa F, Imen M Hat. So in English we say Aminem Hat. Now here we have, this is a single glyph by itself, which stands for Quebec and other derivatives. Now we do have water coming out of it, and it looks as if the water is going on the or inside the lotus flower. And here I'm not sure what the object is, but if that is liquid, then it seems like it is going also in the lotus flower. So I wonder if this is some recipient, some sort of vase with the shape of a lotus flower. But she is presenting a lotus flower here, and this guy is holding also the lotus flower. For one of our essay, the university course of Egyptology, we had to make a description of some tomb, and we had the choice of tombs, and the one that I used when I went through it, if I remember correctly, was many women who were holding the lotus flower. But that was a particular tomb, that's just one tomb. Sat F, it S, Sa F, okay. So for the record, before I move to the next one, you can see what happens when the color is fading away because it's so old. So most likely this lady here smelling the lotus flower, well, actually you can see the remnant of the yellow ochre here and here, but it's so old that it has faded away. Here we have the Hotep Dinesu, Usir Nebjedu, Echer A, Neb Abju. Damn, it's been a while now. Is it Web White? This looks like Inpu. Nebta Jesser. And then we have Inpu. Doesn't look like it, but this is a stool here. Bennett. Nature. Now I don't know. I cannot tell what is here. Oh, Inedge. It looks like Inedge and Eat. Then this looks like Passaget to me. The Iniad. Emit M. Abju. Abju. Now the way Abju is written here, for those who are familiar with the MedNet channel, it doesn't read in the exact order in which it is read, but it is for the sake of symmetry or aesthetic. This may not look like it, but this is a heel, the heel side, and this is the Newt glyph, reference 049 if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while I did not read any stele. So we have Necheru, Nebu, and I'm sorry, Nebu Tajeser. Now I cannot tell what this is here underneath the Jeser, but we have D, S, N, what is it again? Beret Cheru, if I'm not mistaken. Some will transliterate the T, Henneket, but most don't. That's the first Egyptologist that I've seen transliterating the loaf of bread and the vase, the beer, basically. But others just say, you know, Beret Cheru, invocatory offering. Ka Aped, Chet, Nebet, Neferet, Wabet. This is a determinative. And probably Heseb. Don't quote me on that one. Irep, that's one word. Very common word. Iretet. Sesh Menechet. You have to be familiar because I forgot how it's pronounced, that plant. I am a bit rusty. I'm gonna work on that. Okay, I'm gonna find some that look a bit better. So we are told it is Jehusi and his wife Henut receiving libation from their children, circa 15 to 1400 BC. Their parents are seated on the right. Oh, that's nice colors here as well. What's interesting here is that we can look at the contrast between the white clothing and the skin color. See? Now if you look around the arm here and around the hand here, most likely this was the color, but over time it has faded away. Now it looks like they have some sort of bracelets. But anyway, we have Usir here, then it looks like Chenet. Now the rest I cannot read, but usually it says Lord of Eternity and so on. Now I can see Senet, it looks like Senet F, Nebet, Nebet Ber. And we have Ma, N, and I cannot tell what this is here, if this is the E. So here, it's ma'a. It's not ma. We have the I as a determinative, so this is the verb to see. I mean that as far as I'm concerned, that's what it would be. We do have the chain ring again here and the two ujat eyes. And amazingly, what looks like a some sort of part of recipient. The glyphs are not easy to read on that one. But here we do have the typical Hotep Dinesu, Usir, Khenet. Oh, I forgot that one. Got that one. Mecher Ah. Oh, Tar isn't a place to be. What's up, brother? Tony Williams, I missed that. He wrote Beautiful Stella. Or Steely. So Nature Ah. I'm not tell what this one is, but then we have Jet. It looks like a Ready F, and then we have Beret Kheru, Te Heneket, Ka Abed, Sesh Menechet. I forgot that one. This one too. I'm rusty. Chet Nebet, Neferet, Wabet. Cannot tell what this is here, but here we have Irep again. Then we have Iretet. I will say Chau for wind, but don't quote me on that. But this, what looks like the same glyph here. NKN, Sesh, N, and I don't know, it may be a given name here. We are. So this probably is a boat here. I cannot really tell here what it says, but here we have Nebet Per, Ma N, and then probably E. Insa S. So that's a plural here. I don't know, thinking it says something like their son, but I'm a bit rusty. Not leave it there. Remember, we are. So the scribe of the how do you say cavalry in English? Say cavalry. Okay, it's the same word in English. So the scribe of the cavalry, we are in his family, paying homage to the god Osiris. Circa 1400 to 13 BC. Sorry, 1350 BC. Made of limestone, and the reference is C82. So the name Wea is here. Quelchic, relief, G1 vulture. Oh, here I can tell you, this is the glyph. It's like the glyph with that person holding a frail, you know, seated holding a frail, and this most likely is a boat because Wea is a word for bark or boat. It's funny. I've seen one person called Senu, and we have one person called Wea. Another nice example of what the color used to be like. You can compare the contrast with the clothing here and the skin tone. Now here you can see what happens when it fades away. And this part probably was the original color, so it is dark brown originally. Remember the convention of red ochre? It's funny we say red ochre. We could say ochre, period. Because here it's not red, it's brown, but never mind. For males, and yellow ochre for the females. Ad nefer. EP. Maybe that's a given name, EP. We will see what the reference says. Now, here unfortunately is damaged, so I don't need to try to read that. It may come back to me what the phonetic value is for that glyph here. Here we have mes n. Oh no, not n. It's ma'acheru. Ma'acheru. It looks like a duck, and we have the F, so sa F. Here that's a hotep. That's Jed, that's the cobra, that's the hand, believe it or not. So Jed N F, and then I don't know if it's an N here. And here we have, okay, but here we have Mes and Nebet Per, birthed by the lady of the house. Oh, here we have Neb. Neb or Nebu, the necklace. And then we have Neferet. I forgot what those things are on top of their head. So here we have Ptah, Mer'i. I don't know what this is here. I wonder if this is an elephant tusk, but we have Ma. Here we have Sa'ek. Got the loaf of bread, so I won't say Sa'ek. So we have Neferi or Neferiti. We will see what the description will say. You have Ur, at Ur, Teti. Well, here we have In. Okay, let's see what the name is. So that's a typical offering right here. I need to read this out. I'm curious, but we have Neb again here. Hotel Dinesu, Usir, Hekat, Jet, the DF, Het Nebet, Neferet Wabet, Ankh, it's funny because I'm familiar with the Ankh in Netier, but here it's actually Wabet Neferet Anku. And anyway, I'm not really sure here, but we have Sesh Menechet. This one and this one I forgot. Then we have S Ur. This looks like the hair to me. The facing from the front. That's the leg. It looks like the pa here. That I cannot tell. It looks like Iteru. This looks like the loaf of bread. Well, it doesn't really look like the loaf of bread, but I presume it's a loaf of bread because this is, to me, this is a real leaf, loaf of bread, the mouth, and the quail cheek. And this will be the determinative for water, the three water wave or water ripple. So Iteru will make sense. And KN, don't know if this is the elephant tusk. It, Imen, Mes I, Mes Nebet Per. Neb. So Neb or Nebu seems to be the name of the lady of the house. So let's see what names we have in the description. Imenmes seated with her son Imenhetep and his mother Nub Neferet. So I did not read the name fully, but I did tell you about Nub. So, and for those of you who are lucky to have a museum nearby, then you can do this exercise. Whenever you have some large figures, most likely you will have their names somewhere around the large figure. And usually the large figure is the main person, the most important person, the person that the artifact is dedicated to. So most likely we'll have the name in the description. So it's a good exercise. But here indeed we do have the noob, and then we do have the nefer here. Now, what was the Imen? Well, here you see, when I was reading, we have Imen. It doesn't look like it, but this is the men, the Senate game, which stands for men, the body tool. This is the report of water, so that's the phonetic complement. So we have Imen Mes. See? What other names do we have? Imen Mes sitting with Imen Hetep. So where is Imen Hetep? That's what we call Amenhotep in English. Oh, never mind. Now remember, every now and then I'm planning on going through some museum artifacts, and whenever it's the case, feel free if you have any questions, even if it's not about the Medu Neter, you know, rather than putting free talk questions and answers, I'd rather have this and then keep on pushing. I'm sorry. So here it looks quite reddish, but when you compare here with here, you can see that this was darker initially. So this is funny. It's probably the first time that I see that. Now you're familiar with the sun and the wing disc. That's the sun, that's the wing. As you can see, we only have it on one side. I think it's the first time I see that. And it was important for them to put the Ujat right here. So we do have Usir, Hekat Jet. I would say that's Heru. And here we have Medhet. What does Medhet mean again? I forgot. I forgot what Medhet means. So we have the Freya here. It went dark all of a sudden. Okay, it's not doing it on your end, it's doing it on my end. We have the Freya, we have the Was scepter, we have the Heka scepter as well. Now, of course, that would be Usir with the Atef crown. Now, sometimes Aset does have this crown, but typically that will be Het Heru. So this is Aset because her name is written here, and it says Mut Necher, Aset Mut Necher. This I cannot tell what it is. So here we have, I think that's Her or Heru. Inejechet F Sa Asset. But I will read this as ready. But then we have the, actually, you see here? That's the same position here. I believe here, it's the same position as this one. Now this is a position of prayer or adoration. Mind you, we see it like this on the side, but once again, the arms are at the same level. It's like that, not like that. Not one arm forward. And I've shown, if I'm not mistaken, I've shown two different artifacts where we can see that, where we have the statues facing us from the front, you know, because a few people go like this, you know, like this, but no, it's at the same level. We only see it like this. Is the artist made it like this so we can see both arms, because if the two arms are at the same level, then we don't see the other arm. We will only see one. We can get, you know, we can just be more accurate, you know. It's not about being perfect, but it's just about being more accurate. So I wouldn't say dua. There's no phonetic complement, but anyway, somewhere around the line of ready or something like that. Then we have en usir, in. Some people might not know, but the red crown has the same phonetic value as the ripple water. As the ripple water, as the water ripple. Then we have seshnesu, saek. I almost read this as sat, but this is the feet of the duck. Oh, actually, is it really the duck? The duck is not supposed to have that stuff in the front here. But maybe it's just damaged over time. But here it is definitely damaged. And that's the one I was telling you about earlier, the seated person with the frail. Now that's the cobra. Oh, that's Jed. That's the hand. Okay, don't quote me on that. I think it's Jed. Okay, Jed F. Inejahet Ek. So this is a greeting. This I cannot tell, but here we have Abdu, Neb Nehe. And here we have Nesu, Necheru. Nebet Peri. It looks like poo, but Nebet Peri Ipu. Maybe the wife is called something like Ipu. We will see what the description says. Imaki Saef Meret Saef Meref Seshnesu. It looks like N Meref. Cannot read here. Heseb. Yeah, it looks like Heseb and Necher Nefer. And maybe this is Ak, because we can see the quote unquote collar, you know, the stuff hanging from around the neck. So that I wouldn't say that's Sa, or actually that's a K, the handle, the basket with the handle. So probably ak ek. I doubt this will be sad, but anyway, the rest is damaged. And then we have Ma'aheru here. So Hotep Dinesu Usir Genet Imentiu Necher A Neb Abju. Forgot if it's once again web white. I kind of forgot exactly how it is transliterated. Maybe Shemau. But this looks the same as here. Webwaut. I was wondering Webwaut probably. We have some plant here. Probably inpu here, because this looks at the reed leaf here. This is the water ripple, and probably this is the stool here, and then we have the querchik, so that will spell inpu. Is it the hair here? I don't know, but this looks like pet right here, but I'm not sure. Then we have F. Now that's one of the easiest deities name to read for those who take the Metal Nature classes. This is the stool, that's the loaf of bread, and that's the wick, or what do you call it again? There's another term they use, twisted flask. So those are all uniliterals. One sound, one sound, one sound, and that's the determinative. Got in the reference A40 if I'm not mistaken. Some people call it the classifier. That stands for a deity. So that's the name of a very, very, very famous god. Oh, how amazing. You see, now this is not the typical order. It's not read the way it's written, but that's Seker. And that's what I would say. Even though we do have the two oblique strokes here, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is, you know. Neb. I cannot tell what this is here. Whoopet. I don't know Whoopet for here, but I don't know if you follow me here, Donnie. I was about here, and this I don't know what it is. I mean, this looks like the pool to me, you know, reference N38. There's two. Now I forgot if I know N38, got in the reference N38 is one of them. The other one it may be N37 or N39, but there's two variants. That's obviously the loaf of bread, but that one here I don't know what it is. But this looks like the pool to me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what it is. See, I think brother Donnie is a bit behind on the stream. So maybe, you know, you can, I don't know if you're using your mobile phone or the computer, but if you press the down arrow, I mean the side arrow, the right arrow on the YouTube application, when you press like you how do you call it again? If you tap on the right of the screen, it goes forward or backwards by increments of 10 seconds. When it's on the actual website, or let's say on a computer, it goes by 5-second increments. So yeah, Danny is definitely behind on the stream. Or maybe you can just refresh the page, so you will be, you know. But yeah, Twisted Flask. You see, Danny is here. So as he wrote here, that's Ptah, PTH. That's Ptah here. So Ptah Seker, I think Ptah Seker. You know. Yes, you see, he wrote looks like Seker. So that I don't know. It looks like the top of a pot. Cannot tell what it is. This one either. So we have ready sen. Red heru is damaged here, but you can tell here the heru and the peret heru. Here you will have a loaf of bread, and here you have the recipient that stands for Heneket. Then we have Ka Aped Sesh Menechet. I don't know if this one is the Heseb here, but here we do have Irep. Here we have Iret. Oh, is it? No, it's not. Is it milk? I think Iret stands for milk. So it comes back to me now. I think it's Iretet actually. Yes, Iretet means milk. Real, he always has something slick to say when we deal with the meta nature. He would, lol, y'all funny, yo. If we were going to the Hebrew, he wouldn't write that. When Real, we tell him about something happens with the Canaanites or the Bible, then he's looking for something in Kemet that was like similar or as bad or something like that. But it's all good. Blaya is in the place to be here with Hotep Sen E. Shaka. What's up, Blaya? So again, it's the good brother who made that layout for me. He made the first one, and then he made the new one. I need to plug my laptop because the battery is about to die. And he made a new one. I didn't even ask him. I didn't even ask him the first one. I made a struggle layout. I made a struggle layout, and he saw it. He's like, oh no. And I received an email. It's like, there you go, man. And then one day, I don't know if it was for the new year or something, he sent me the brand new layout. So Young Harold's in the place to be. It's been a minute. How you doing, brother? To real with facts, he agrees with what I said. He has to counter whatever we say about the Bible. The Bible is his foundation. Yes, a greeting from Andrea. He wrote, you know I gotta get y'all back for my bruise. Hey, it's a free world, a free country. TRR. I may use that because it's shorter than Too Real. So remember, brothers and sisters, it's actually been a year that I did not go over those museum artifacts. But whenever you see me, from now on, with this title, Kemetic Way of Life, Hieroglyphic Made Nature, blah, 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 then it's the same as when I had the title, Free Talk Questions and Answers, or Q&A. So if some of you want to get on the panel, then feel free, but don't do it just to make me happy, you know. But anybody who has any question about anything, now for those who don't know, the chat is open to supporters only. You have the link to join. It's at the top here. It's $3 per month, which is $36 per year. But anybody can hit the link and get on the panel. For those who don't know, in order to get on the panel, you need to have a webcam. You know, you need to show your face. Now the people I know already is cool, you know, because I know them. Andrea is letting TRR know that she's still got her bell. Young Harry was taking care of business. So I was around, yeah, Iretet, Iretet, Het Nebet, Eferet Wabet. Then we have Het again. And then we have Nebet, and this time we have, that's a twisted flask. Oh, this one is used for Bener. But because we have the twisted flask, it may be another word. But this, if I'm not mistaken, is the date. Which also stands for, what's the other word? I think you have it for Nejem, which means sweet. And it stands for, it's used for Bener as well. Oh, Jade, it's been a minute. Hold on. What's up, Jade? How you doing, brother?
Hey man, how you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm chilling, relaxing. I'm not cursing, replying to people. I'm in a cool mode.
Yeah, you're teaching. So I got on a bit late. So very interesting. Are you a
Yeah,
little bit? You need to brush up on your Medinetta or something, or
yeah, I'm rusty. But I wouldn't call
yeah,
it
because you've
teaching.
been
I'm actually giving middle lecture classes, so this is me
right,
just going off the dome, going to artifacts. For those who wonder, when I
right.
do the middle lecture classes, it's not like that at all. You do have the references, the vocabulary, and we go through, sentences and all that. But what's on your mind, brother? It's been a minute, man. How's your
Yeah,
wife?
yeah. She's cool. She's sleeping. She's good. Yeah, we're trying to book a flight to go somewhere.
Okay.
We're here, we've been doing a bit of filming in London and just taking it easy. It's be soon Christmas. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't celebrate Christmas, but the year has flown by, some of the stuff that we wanted to do,
Yeah.
time just flies and
Yeah, time
but yeah,
flies. I agree.
I find it very interesting, the Medinetta. I was wondering what was life like in Egypt? Is there any sort of historical records or?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of historical records. It's all over museums. I mean, I'm sure you've been to the British Museum, right?
Yeah, I
So
have.
you have. I mean, that's really one of the museums that has the most artifact about ancient Egypt. And the issue is just knowing, the language. But a lot of translation has been made. But the interesting thing with Kemet is that we have the writings not only on the steles, on the pylons, on the papyri. Papyri is a plural of papyrus, but we have it on jewelry, pots, um, um, wooden artifact like um, um, like cause I don't want to say cosmetic, but like things for maintenance for like combs and stuff like that. All sorts of different artifacts. What is it called again? Furnitures.
Mhm.
Boxes and stuff like that, or chest, like some people say. So they
Yeah,
they rolled like damn near everywhere. So we have a good idea of how life was like, and it's not only dealing with the royalty, uh, and we have people like some may call them nobles, but
yeah.
scribes, people who were working in the army. Um,
Okay.
so different type of ranking when it comes to society.
Mhm.
So yeah, we have a lot. So we have imagery as well. Like a lot of time on these delays, we see the offerings that they will give. But
Mhm.
yeah, we will have a pretty good idea, not only what the people of Kemet wrote, but also the foreigners, the exchange of goods, and like the Amana letters and other communication with foreign nations. And of
Yes.
course, when the Greeks were there, even though it's the late period around 400 BC, they were there when the language was still spoken, and they
Right.
took a lot of the customs and traditions of ancient Egypt and adapted some of those customs to their own, and even a fair bit of the gods. Um, they had some Greek equivalents to the ancient Egyptian gods. One of them, Dionysus it is, but um, which equivalent
Dionysus.
is it? Uh, I'm not sure how you pronounce it in English. Um, Dionysus. No, whose equivalent is it? But if I search for Egyptian, it's the Egyptian equivalent of Osiris.
Okay.
But I'm going to share
Osiris
this
was
in
the
the
one
chat.
with the
Yeah,
he
go
had
ahead,
like
brother.
Osiris had sort of like a hat. Was he sort of always like green, a greenish color? Was that Osiris
Uh,
or
a
not?
fair bit of
That's not
time,
Osiris.
a fair bit of time, he was depicted green indeed, and
And
and some
why
people,
was that?
but some people say it deals with the vegetation, you know,
Oh,
you know. But I couldn't
it
say for
represents
sure.
basically colors represent um say so if you use green, it's got representation. Did they explain that in Egypt or
Vegetation, I think, because um, this may be found from some Greek writers. I don't know if it's Plutarch. I haven't finished reading his writing on ancient Egypt, but some people say, many times it is said that he taught mankind how to, work the land or the earth. You know what I'm saying, to feed themselves. Hey, we have a Femi. What's up, Femi? Hey, how you doing,
Hello.
brother? In a minute.
I'm okay.
yeah, for me?
Yeah.
How you doing,
Because
man?
you be holding them late night sessions my time. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and see that you just got done with a live stream an hour ago.
Yeah, I did a few streams because you see, I usually wake up in the middle, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And
Me
the
too.
last time I woke
Mm.
up around that time, and that dude, the Lalebo Pum Pum, he said something, so I was like, okay, let me reply to this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, right.
I saw the
Okay.
video, but I didn't watch it yet. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was a replay, but was this something recent? He said now.
yeah, but the latest one I did, I mean, I did two. I did one. I even forgot the title, but um, oh, somebody else came in. Oh, Young Hero, what's up?
Yeah, I'm there too, man.
We have the whole Miles Forever team getting on the panel now.
Like my boy, you be the
We're
whole
getting the
replacement.
band back together.
Hold on, Young Hero, we hear you like your phone is in the car and you're outside or
It's
something.
You hear
distorted.
me now?
Yeah, we hear you
Yeah.
good now.
Yeah, I'm here for a minute. I gotta get my child in a minute, but see, let me hop on because it's been a minute. Yeah, man,
So
Shaq. I've been looking.
if you
I've
bet
been
it makes me
seeing
laugh. He will check a class back immediately.
Shaka class back
the
in.
the earlier the better.
What's going on, Shaka?
Oh man, chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's been a year. To my surprise, I didn't know it was that long. So I'm gonna try to do that on a regular basis. And every time people will see Kemetic way of life, people see me going through the middle. It's the same as free talk, question and
Yeah.
answer.
I
So
see.
everybody feel free.
I gotta go back because I missed the majority of it because I just finished work not too long ago. But
Mm.
anybody that's interested in history, interested in self awareness and knowledge, they should pay attention because that's what you get from um Kemet teachings.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, and
So
there's so much. Yeah, go
who
ahead,
was
brother.
this
Go ahead.
guys you said that teach people how to work the earth or to garden
Um,
and
a lot of time they say it's Osiris.
oh,
Osiris or Osir or
okay,
Osar. That he taught mankind, how to cultivate basically.
right,
So a fair bit of time, Osiris is depicted in green color, and some people presume that's the reason why. I cannot say for sure. I did not come across a writing yet that says that, but most likely that may be the reason why. But
right,
it's not always depicted in green because sometimes you have different material for some statues, and You don't always have, the coloring, but yeah, a fair bit of time, we do see him depicted in green color. Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you a question. We basically know that. So the Asa and Osiris and them was myths, right?
You could say that, but the thing is that we don't have any date for them.
Yeah,
So
because they make them seem like they country. You know, like how you have biblical narrative, but the biblical narrative is usually superstitious and supernatural. You know,
for the
but
most part, yeah, the
yeah,
biblical
but with
narrative,
yeah
yes.
with Asa and them, they have more like direct connect to humans beings. Like they teach them stuff. So sometimes it make it seem like the person actually existed. You see what I'm saying?
Some people argue that because we have a tomb of Osiris, but the thing is that um, they are they are gods, but in Kemet they are human beings
Right,
who are later on deified. You know,
right, right.
and
So,
in the Oxford History of Egypt, I hope I got the title right, edited by Ian Shaw. There's some examples of that. I have that somewhere in my notes. But actually, hold on. Good for me to show some examples, but there was some. Hold on, more. Is it? Hold on, let me just try to open that one. It's gonna be here. Search for it. What? Not available? I'm sorry. What is he talking about? Not available. Try again. Hide. Hide. Let me share my screen, and we're gonna see how many entries we have. So it is indeed the Oxford History of Ancient Egypt. It's a bit small. Edited by Ian Shaw. Now, I did not write the name of the actual author of the article, but there's obviously several authors. And he says tradition has it that Imhotep, Greek form Imhotep, was the architect of Joseph's pyramid and inventor of building in stone. Later, he was deified and
facts.
regarded as the son of god Ptah. So he was a living person, for which we have attestation. And contrary to what the anthropological linguists say, we do have mention of his name during his lifetime. I've shown that. It's on my website. As a matter of fact, let me look for it now because
Yeah, that's
we'll
what
have it.
make Egypt so interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
it's you could correlate things that these people say, and before. I don't think the Egyptians used to look at people as no god. They used to deify them based on their contributions to mankind.
Hold on, please. I just wanna. Well, it's a bit complicated to say when it comes to the deities because we don't have any dating for the gods, but we do have examples here. Now, for the record, here I've shared the link to the artifact where we can see Imhotep written during his lifetime. Um, and that being said, we have one example here of someone that was deified, which is obviously Imhotep. But we have also, uh, oh, you know what? That's what's funny. I I don't know if I came up with the article before, but I probably did. But here, for the record, it says later he was deified and regarded as a son of the god Ptah and the patron of scribes and physicians, equated with the Greek god Asclepios. His historicity has been confirmed by the discovery of the base of a statue of Djoser that also bears Imhotep's name. And this link here that I've shared right there, I'm gonna show you. There it is. I don't know if maybe I look for that after I read that book, but here he was a contemporary artifact with Imhotep's name written on it. This is the base of Joseph's statue, reference JE 49889, located in the Cairo Museum. And here we have the name Imhotep. So that's just for the record. And it's funny because he was recently addressing Boom Boom Smash, talking about, we should not talk in absolute, but anyway, it's not me who discovered that artifact. It was just for the record. Now let's see. There's some other. I think there's a lady also who was deified. So if I share the stuff again, now deified next. I did that one. Oh, actually, well, okay. We have a 6th dynasty local official of Elephantine called Heka-Ib. And now it's funny because when you're familiar with the Middle Nature, you can dissect the words. So we have Heka, which means, it can mean magic or ruler, and then Ib, which means heart. So he was deified after his death. And a series of votive stelae and statues has been found in his shrine. Now, who else? There it is. We have Amenhotep the First. He says a successful ruler in his own right. This is perhaps best borne by the fact that soon after his death, both he and his mother were deified and worshipped at Thebes. And is there anybody else that was deified?
No.
Hold on. Let me just search. But here we have already 3 people.
Yeah, I didn't mean to take you off topic, Shaka.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Go ahead.
No, but you're just clarifying stuff to me that I already know because, like I said, the whole concept from gods and whatever the case may be, it was human beings at a time and they deified them as such.
But I'm not saying it's the case for all gods, though. You know what I'm saying? They
No. I'm talking about ancient time.
And some of them may have been, some attributes, when it comes to, some forces in nature and so on, The interesting thing with Horus is that I knew, and I'm sure many people know, that eagles, falcons, and so on, they have a very, very good eyesight.
Right.
And maybe that's why we have the Ujat eye. But also, I think it's called the peregrine falcon or peregrine eagle, is actually the fastest animal on earth. But that is because, he flies so high, and then when he's looking after a prey, he's just diving. And as he dives, I think he goes like up to like 200 miles an hour or 200 kilometers an hour or something like that. So maybe that's some of the reason why they chose, the falcon or the eagle to represent Horus, because the fact that he can see so well from so far away and being also so fast, But yeah, this is so much to it. But feel free, everybody, if you want to add on.
What was the diets? What was their diet? Was it would you say that they influenced the culinary also to the world?
I wouldn't say that, but from what we see on the artifacts, a lot of time we see what they used to offer, and as a matter of fact, hold on, it's usually the same ones. Yeah, here. This is usually similar. Now here the color has faded away, but here we have a ox's leg, or bovine or leg. This is a ox's head. And then we will have some vegetables or different kind of stuff. But and those, I was gonna say it looks like fish, but A lot of time there's mention of bread. There's mention of wine, beer, and hold on, we lost somebody that just came back.
See a lot of images
Was
of
it?
a loaf
Oh, it
of
was you.
bread.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Come again because we lost you. You went out, and just come again for me, please.
I was just agreeing to say that I've seen loaves of bread
Yeah, we see
lot.
it a lot, and there's different type
Yeah.
of bread as well. There's the loaf of
Right,
bread. There's also slices of bread.
right.
And sometimes you see a
Okay.
table with slices of bread. Some people who are trying to legitimize, if that's the word, Kwanzaa, they will use it because it kind of looks like some candlesticks, but it is not. That's why a lot of time I find it amusing to count and to show the people that we don't have seven. I think one time it happened that there was seven slices, but most of the time we have more than seven. So anybody
And what
trying to
sort of
use.
time? Sorry to
Mhm.
cut you. What sort of time period is this? So I can get it in my mind, sort of
This one on the
what time.
screen, um,
Yeah,
we have the hold on. This
because it's
one on the
such a
screen.
vast timeline of Egypt.
Oh yeah,
This
this one is 1400 BC. So that's 3,400 years old.
would that be the what kingdom? What dynasty would you know? Or
Oh, well, I wouldn't know of the dome,
right,
but
right, yeah.
it's,
I'll have
it's
to check
easy to
that then.
find out. If we look for
Yeah.
dynasty at 1400.
Mm.
Uh,
But there were so many dynasties, wasn't there?
yeah, 20 something, probably 27 or something like that.
And within
Uh,
the dynasties, you had many rulers.
of course, there are many.
Right.
Now that was what 1400 BC, so that would be around Dynasty 18, between
Right. So it's
Dynasty,
quite
yeah,
late.
or Dynasty 18 and Dynasty, yeah, something like that.
And we can also tell that the influence, the artwork. Say, sometimes you can just look at the artwork because there's a point where the Romans came in, or the other influences from, I think it was Persia, and you can see the depictions are starting to change.
We can see with the Romans, it's kind of grotesque sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, it's like like the figures, the face is like thicker, larger.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not usually with the Romans, but other if it's not the Romans, I cannot really tell from the glyphs of the stele. Okay, this is such and such dynasty.
Right.
Um, Maybe some experts will be able to, but me personally, I'm not. But when it's Greek or Roman, yeah, I kind of sometimes can tell. And plus, when you have statues from the front, the shape of the lip is different. So a lot of time,
Right.
you can tell that's what it is. The only
Did it,
exception
did it, mm,
is Akhenaten, the Amarna period. The style was very different, so you can kind of tell easy that it is, during the time of Akhenaten.
right.
Feel free, people, if you want to add on, ask questions, feel free.
Um, Usually we see stuff, archaeological sites and whatnot about temples, but do they do they ever dig up sites of just regular people, regular everyday people's homes, like where they live?
I would say yes. They found some workers' villages or settlements,
Uh,
and I would say that they found, artifacts of regular people, indeed.
Do,
But then we will not necessarily have names for them, So,
I'm not really worried about names.
do,
mm.
they have depictions on the walls as far as their homes and stuff, like how
Everyday people usually not really.
true.
They could not really necessarily afford um, to have some stele. Stele, is one of the artifacts that really pass the test of time, and it will be made in some sort of stone. A lot of
Right.
time it's made of limestone, something that will last.
Mm-hmm.
So it
But
was probably costly
Yeah, you
To
have to
have a
be
stele,
specific.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, to have a stele made in your, for you or in your honor or some of your family member. So, but the people who are more or less wealthy, then they could afford it, they will do it. The problem is that if you find some artifacts and it looks like it's from everyday people, like modest people, how will we know it's definitely some everyday people? So the thing is that sometimes, like you have workers, okay, oh, that's a certain amount of workers. Those people are workers. Like for example, that same book here, I really like that one because it talks about that artifact uh, with these people who did not show up for work because one of them was sick. I'm sorry, one of them was had a hangover because he had been drinking with Kunzu the day before. So we even have the name of the guy he was drinking with. Just looking for the page, but this is a book by a PhD, Dr. Richard Parkinson, and it's called Pocket Guide to Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphs: How to Read and Write Ancient Egyptian. So, and the page, and I mentioned it many times, but it's towards the end. There it is. It's on page 79. Now you won't necessarily be able to see it. That's the thing they call it, the Osruka. It's a large flake of limestone from Kenher, Kenher, Kenher Chesef's village with a list of absences from work. And it says, maybe it's the page before. Where is it? It talks about the guy who had a hangover because he was drinking Mikunsu. I read it a few times, but I don't know why I don't find it there. Maybe it's before. Oh, there it is. So it's page on 70. Well, it's actually page 78. The one just before, but it says I'm sorry. One of these notes is a list of who was off work from the work gang in the year 40 of Ramesses II, circa 1250 BC. We know that one man called Penub was off one day because his mother was ill, while another called Penduau was off because he was drinking with Kunsu. So those will be, in my opinion, everyday people because they were part of a work gang. But what's interesting is that we do have both their names. One was off work because his mother was ill. The other one was off work because he had been drinking. Now, it's very far remote from the slave society that they're trying to portray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, one had a hangover because he had been drinking. So they may be like, okay, he couldn't work efficiently, so they let him off. But the other one is his mother was ill. So it's very far remote from a slave enslaved society that people have in their mind. And there's also Rek Mire. We have mentioned, and I think I may have read that in the introduction to Kemet or Kemet in Ma'at, but it talks about, how you should be, how you should behave, and you should be fair. And also there's a mention of the strike. People went on strike because they did not get their food ratio, they didn't get the proper wages, as we will say. So which slaving society will have people, going on strike if they are enslaved? But yeah, that was just
It's nothing new under the sun, man.
mm.
I'm
So
just
do we
like,
do we
it's
know
just.
how these
Okay, what you say?
Go ahead, Afimi.
I was gonna say, do we know how these homes of these regular people looked? Like if they, had a style where they built it that's similar to any other people anywhere else in Africa or whatever, and like what materials they
Oh,
used to make the homes.
I would say most likely was made of
Yeah.
mud. Most likely, the everyday, the average people, it would be made of mud. And
Yeah.
what
Stone.
well, stone,
Span.
oh, that would be for wealthy people, I would say. Now, in
Mud
the north,
bricks.
in the delta area, we barely find any houses made of mud because there's so much water.
Right.
But in the south, most likely we may find some. But we do have depictions of everyday people, workers. We see them fishing. We see them, in the
Right. It
bakery.
even have stories about heart surgery and different scientific medicines and all of that. Right. So
I'm not sure about heart surgery, but I think there's mention of eye surgery.
right.
But I don't have anybody, handy to quote about that. But they were very advanced in medicine. As a matter of fact, I forgot which temple it was. I think it's the temple of Philae, where we see the tools that are still being used today for surgery. And it's the Egyptian tour guide, who told us about that. He was like,
Okay.
"You have a look here, you can see," and he said, he was speaking French, but he said, "On n'a rien inventé," which means we did not create everything. We did not create anything. It's a sentence in French that means, like Young Herod said, "There's nothing new under the sun." You
Right.
know,
Right.
and but go ahead, go ahead.
And well, so we would say that Egypt has left the most uh how can I say it, memorable mark on earth. Like there's nothing before Egypt that has so much credential and records and history, right? As far as knowledge goes, right? As far
Uh,
as
the,
you know,
the most
any civilization
when it
before.
comes to ancient civilization, I would say probably it's probably. And here, just here's an example of everyday people. Now, for those who know how to search within the channel, when you have that, magnifying glass here, I'll just put Denmark. So here we have, black Egyptians you don't usually see. This is circa 2000 BC. Now the sound is off, but we can see those people, on a boat, you know.
Right.
So those I would say they would not be like nobles or royalty. And then we have another example. I think they're doing some bakery. Let me just go back, and if I go down here, black Egyptians in Denmark's museum, tomb of Wajet Hotep, and I think the description says at one point that they were doing some sort of bakery. If it's not that one, I'm pretty confident that I have one video in some museum where they are basically making bread.
Right. But it was a everyday thing. It wasn't nothing sacred.
Well, this, yeah, it's not in secret. The things that will be considered secret, that would be when it comes to what we call
No.
religion today.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
priests
Because
and all.
they turn the bread into something sacred as far as the fish and the bread or whatever, whatever. The so-called story. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, come again, brother.
No, the story in the Bible when Jesus
Oh, the Bible.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, eat my bread. I was just thinking the same thing, Shaka, because at the end of the day, I see how sometimes when you look at history and everything, you see how things went left, because like you said, certain it happens over generation after generation. Certain men contribute to humanity based on their knowledge. They are inventors, so the same thing. Imagine if you didn't know how to plant anything, and there's this guy and he's teaching you everything about the earth and how the soil and how things grow. It would be like a miracle to you. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the first guy that designed brain surgery or made the stove, or like I'm pretty sure their name go down in history forever. Even Bob Marley, like he will never fade away. He's legendary, so
Yeah,
in
like
saying that,
Tupac.
yeah, Tupac, you know what I mean? So certain people, they are deities in that perspective. You see
Well,
what I'm saying?
they are revered. They are revered.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are, they are
exactly.
considered legend, and I
Yeah,
presume also like you said, that if somebody back then was able to produce fire, then people
Yeah,
would look at him,
exactly.
damn man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And it's never been done before. So,
Mm,
like, I look at things like that and realize that, like in that culture, they understood it. And down the line, it got twisted, to the point that man think that they are the creator. Like, so anything literature we have about any kind of god or deity, it came from man. You see what I'm saying? It came from a man's mind. And in order to move the goalpost, they would say, oh, he was inspired by something. You see what I'm coming from?
that's what the Abrahamic people like to say.
Right.
They, if you listen to them, they know God, they have a personal relationship with God, and so on. But most of the things that they talk about is things that they don't know, it's things that they believe, you know.
Yes. It came
And
from a man's mind.
yeah, well, it's obvious when we read the Abrahamic literature. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they even there's even passages where they talk about attributes of God, or they give descriptions of God, like getting the smell, the nice smell, to his
Right. Like
nostril
he's
or
a,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, like he's a man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
roaming around the garden, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I mean, actually, that the Western Muhammad, his dissertation, if I'm not mistaken, his dissertation is about, like, quote unquote, like, I'm paraphrasing, but physical attributes of God, and he probably chose that because the NOI teaches that God is a man, which is against the teaching of Islam, but he used this kind of thing. As a matter of fact, he also used, because when I prepare myself to debate him, I purchased not only his book but also his lectures, and he shows. Now, he used the Bible a fair bit, but I think you have some of that in Islam or the Sunnah, maybe more in the Hadith than the Quran. But he mentioned a passage in the Bible when he says God is a man of war, and the word for man in Hebrew is ish. So he highlighted that. You see, ish means man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, anybody with common sense would understand what it is, But yeah, man. Like I said, sucker, yeah, all you could
Hey,
do
Roo,
is
look there,
laugh
he's jabbing
sometimes,
you, man.
huh?
He's jabbing.
Yeah, man. I mean, because I just look at it like that. Because when I think about it, the whole concept came from a man. Man became. He
Okay, you're
see
jabbing back now.
himself. He see himself as a creator. You see what I'm saying? Just like he
Yeah.
create houses, rivers, bridges, whatever the
Mm.
case may be. So he put that projectile out there as man is God, because the only way you knew of that is because a man mind concepted that idea. That's the only reason we here
I think
talking
it's
about
fair to. I think it's fair to say, young hero, there is some aspects of a madness, really and truly, with
it. Facts.
you're thinking, or you're speaking to someone that you've never seen, or I think maybe thousands of years, maybe I don't know when, but they'll look back at it and think, wow, there was a certain sort of psychosis,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's touched everything. People seem to want to live to believe that there's something that can help them, which
Yeah,
I
they
can
don't.
understand. But to sort of to make it factual and without
Yeah, to
any
run from
evidence,
reality. To run from
yeah,
reality.
yeah.
Because and the thing is, every 40 years, here comes a new generation. So when you say thousands of years, you gotta really do the math, because every 40, 50 years, another new generation is on the rise. So that's like twice the number. So imagine how much has gone on the earth
Well,
since
just
then.
look at America. I mean, since America's been founded, how religion has changed so much.
The
It's shocking,
Egyptians
really. You know.
live in afterlife. The Egyptians were too real. You always on that, man. The religion. Okay, they probably did, but That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing though. Is man wanting to be more? Is man, I understand our creativity is what gives us all these concepts and beliefs, So even if they believed in the afterlife in Egypt, I don't think nobody in Egypt actually proved it as being real. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think, yeah, even if they did believe it, that's just what they did believe, because our creativity and our consciousness make us want to be more, and that's understandable, because why would the creator give us all these concepts and these ideas and these beliefs if he didn't want us to think such a thing, so maybe we are the gods walking the earth. You know what I'm saying? We are the gods walking the earth. That's why we have all these concepts. But when we start to put it in something outside of us, that's when it becomes a problem. Because we are not accountable for anything we do, and that's what it is, man.
Yeah, you're right.
They had beliefs. They had beliefs. That means well, I don't think they would call it beliefs. That's the thing about when two reals speak too. He's speaking based off his concepts and his beliefs. You see what I'm saying? Nobody Egypt. I don't even know if that word exists in their time. Belief, So hey, I mean, the conversation could go on forever.
Hey, Shaka, I was going to ask you about the construction.
I heard everything. I was
Um,
I was away from the desk, but I heard everything that was said about the
okay, do you
beliefs
want
and
to
so on.
speak?
Yeah, but go ahead,
Sorry.
go ahead, brother Jay.
Sorry, I was going to ask, like the construction of the pyramid.
Hmm.
Um, is there any depictions of that, of
No,
how it was done, or any records?
no depiction to my knowledge. I don't think there's any record. I think it would be very famous if there was any.
Mm.
Uh, but
But I
lately,
think just by looking at it, we can see that it is it's a great achievement. Um,
it's a marvel indeed.
mm,
And recently, I came across a video. I was on TikTok, but a lot of time on TikTok, you have stuff that comes from documentaries and so on. You don't necessarily have the name of the documentary or the people who made it. But the person may not be the first person ever was arguing that it was made. Um, well, actually, it may be the first time I've seen this hypothesis. Um, the person was arguing that the tunnels, because there's a lot of tunnels.
yeah,
The tunnels
lots of
were,
them.
if I
Mm.
understand correct, if I remember correctly, the tunnels were made first, and then
The
they,
pyramid.
they built it up around it, and they probably had some
Ah,
way of creating blocks, by having sand or whatever material that they will mix with water and put inside of I don't know how
a
the right
cast,
terminology. Yeah, some sort of cast.
a
Let
cast
it
or
dry, and
a
then they will
frame.
use the blocks.
Mm.
But it was interesting with those tunnels because when they look at those tunnels, they don't have any marks of
Being chiseled
remnants
out.
of like if you use a light. When I say light, I mean a lamp, anything with fire. They don't see any
Right.
smoke, and besides the lack of traces of smoke, it's also the oxygen for them to
Yeah.
dig inside and go so deep. They will need oxygen at some point. They will need to get out. So it was probably not done after they built so much and then they started doing the tunnels. And on top of that, also the angles, the degrees is so precise. It's just amazing.
Mm.
It's just really so.
Have you
We
been
may never
inside a
know.
pyramid? Have you been inside one?
No, and I regret because I went
Mm.
uh, uh, on the Giza Plateau to see the Great Pyramids,
Mm.
and you had to pay to get in. And I don't know why. Probably because the tour guide told us, or actually in Giza, was I with the tour guide in Giza? No, I wasn't with the tour guide. But oh yes, actually, yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I had a tour guide, a different one, a woman. Uh, she told me that there was no writing inside of the pyramid.
Mm.
And that's probably why I didn't go in. But I regret that. Next time I go, I will do it for the sake of it. Now
Yeah,
there is some
definitely.
writing. I saw the documentary with Zahir Was, but it's not really somewhere. It's not really a place where the tourists can access. It's where the people, the workers were. They had some
Right.
graffito. They wrote something. I think it wrote even something funny or humorous, comedic, let's say.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah, I regret that I did not go inside. But
And what did the Sphinx represent? Where did they? When did that? Is it anyone know or?
human face, lion body,
Mm.
and what's the other thing? I think there was a third thing.
Is it a bit like a phoenix or something like what we have, like
No,
with
I wouldn't
the
say a phoenix. No, phoenix is different. Phoenix
no,
is like
mm,
it's a mythical bird, really. But
mm,
yeah, but the funny thing is that the word sphinx may derive from a Middle Nature term as well, and I have a video about that. Actually, I think it comes from the same book, the Oxford History of Ancient Egypt. And it's funny because some people claim that the Middle Nature has not been deciphered, but yet we have so many words that we use in English that derive from the Middle Nature. We even have some Greek words that derive from the Middle Nature. But for strange reason, they try to claim that it hasn't been deciphered. Sphinx, uh, possible African etymology. Sharing the link just in the chat for so we're gonna
yeah,
have a
I'll
look at
check
the
that
one.
out later.
But yes, it is the same book, the Oxford History of Ancient Egypt. It may come from the Egyptian phrase Shesep Ankh, which means a living image. But I'm just gonna share the link if somebody wants to have a look. We may never know how the pyramids were built, particularly the Great Pyramid of the Giza Plateau. Some things we will never know.
Hmm.
In your travels to Egypt, I don't know if you've been there more than once or whatever, but
No, I've been once only.
um, you okay? So when you went there, did you ever get any kind of feeling um, that was remarkable or whatever?
Well, um, the Great Pyramids is one of the most remarkable thing. It may sound cliche, but when you see it and you're in front of it, it's not the same as when you see it on pictures or videos. Um, it's huge, it's impressive. But personally, when I went to Luxor, which is in the south, there's that time when we went to visit the temple, which is actually the largest temple complex in the world. And there's this area, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like an open space. And when we went there, it was sometime in the morning, but the sun was there, was bright. I mean, you have it early in the morning, but I was walking and you had that open space, and then you have the temple far away. Actually, I filmed it, so I have it somewhere, one of my video. Um, but the feeling that I had, seeing the temple far away so big, I was teary-eyed, to be honest, you know. But I felt good. I was impressed. I was happy to be where, the ancestors were, and seeing that huge structure that they had, the Karnak temple, in Luxor. But I don't know if I'll be able to maybe that one. Let me see.
That was
Yeah,
like a
that's
feeling that you
that's the
had.
one. That's the one.
Just
I found it. I found it. And but go ahead, Femi. I'm gonna share it.
That was like a feeling that you had, like in general, just being there in Egypt.
Oh no, no. Well, actually, in general, I had my camcorder, and I wanted to capture as much as possible. I was quite sad uh, when I realized that when we would get on some sites, the tour guide would just talk about some stuff, and then he would say, "Okay, you have like an hour, you have 45 minutes," and I just thought that we would spend much more time, So so I was very focused on capturing. Uh, but that temple here, let me just show it. That's the area I was talking about. So first you have a replica. I have the sound off, but at the end of the day, the sound is a voice over, because I recorded and then I did the voice. Oh no, hold on. No, my bad, no, my bad. I think I spoke. Oh, let me see. I think I spoke in English. I can't remember. The voice over may have been in French.
C'était à l'avant de la maquette.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, the voiceover is in French, but I did it in English first. But anyway, let me put the volume off. So that's the area. See, the sun is there, and I'm walking. I didn't expect such an open place. And in the back, we actually have, what is it called again? The Valley of the King. And right there, as I walked there, I was very impressed. And I really felt some kind of way. I was really teary-eyed. But, I was a group, like a mixed group. I guess if I was, with some of my people, I may have shed a tear or two. But that's a temple here. And we see it from far away. And it may not look like it on video, but it's huge, And then inside you have so much, You have the lake, you have some obelisk, some huge statues, a lot of writings. You have the hypostyle hall with all those pylons, So that's really out of the whole trip, that's really when I felt like, I really felt some kind of way. Then I filmed in the back as well, And we do have indeed. That's it doesn't show too up. These mountains, that's the Valley of the Kings.
Oh, is it the mountains? Okay,
yeah, Valley of the Kings and Valley of the Queens. You know what I'm saying? So here, then we're getting closer, and you see how you have those
sphinxes.
No, they're not sphinxes. They're rams.
Oh right.
Representing Amun or Imen. And I mean this. Many people will say this temple in Karnak, is dedicated to the main deity at the time, which was Amun,
Wow.
It's there that they have this mosque that they built on top of the temple, So here you see you have some statue and a lot of writings, a lot of see a lot of chiseling. They chisel so much, and this is the hypostyle hall. The pylons are huge, and they have writing all over. But they did chisel a lot at the base, wherever it's reachable. But then when it's higher up, they did not really bother too much. But we can see here they chiseled a lot.
Right, they defaced it.
Yeah, but then here you see that's you have writing here all over.
Wow.
You have that tree that some people say is like the tree of life and all that. But this is just one short video. There's a lot more. But yeah, I really felt some type of way seeing that huge temple from far away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, as you said about the British Museum, I've seen the size of some of the heads and stuff. I've done some short videos myself, but it's so packed in there, and
especially for the Rosetta Stone, can barely get a picture.
Yeah, I couldn't even breathe. There was so much people there.
Yeah.
It's packed. There's not many black people. It's pure different, large groups
people from all over the world. But
yeah. And it's so packed, and the way that it is, and also the position of it. the other, like the Greeks and the other stuff, are sort of, they've got more space, if you see what I mean. They're shown differently. Even
Yeah.
the African exhibition is down in the basement. I filmed it on my channel. I finally got a chance to go down there. I've been there before many times, but I wanted to take my wife there, so that was quite nice. But it was very dark, you know, and
Some places it's dark because they avoid the light, because it will damage some
damage the
artifact. You
work.
know, yeah. You know, so indeed, and what you're saying is interesting, because I guess it's because there's an abundance of artifacts from Kemet. So some of them will be lost or damaged. It's not the end of the world, even though those artifacts are kind of invaluable. They don't really have value like that, but they could be purchased. But when it's Greece and Rome, a lot of, you have a lot of stuff within glasses. Even if it's not a
Yeah,
very large important
yeah.
artifact, and I guess it's because it's scarce. You know, but a lot of artifacts
Ah,
from Kemet, you can actually touch them. They don't have no protective cover
no,
or
they don't.
glass around it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
you're walking right beside them. They're, you
yeah, oh
know,
yeah, yeah. But Greece and Rome
if you
is,
wanted to,
yes, yeah, it's different. It's more
yeah,
protected, let's say.
yeah. So they definitely have got this kind of and they've got the Assyrians quite. uh, The way I look at it, it should have been Egypt first, and then everything after. You know, but they kind of,
Oh, that's subjective. That's subjective.
I suppose, but
but
that's
but
how I
but
would like it to be.
but
You
but
know,
but
because
really,
when
but
I look at the artwork,
mm,
when I look at this, when I look at it, because I mean, when I studied art, I was more looking at um, Italian work, the Renaissance, and I was overwhelmed by the skill, thinking that that's where the skill began. But now when I look at the Egyptian work, it's the other way around. They learned that from them, because I can't believe how smooth and how beautiful some of these statues are. Some of the heads.
but I would say, sorry to cut you off, but I would say um the ancient Egyptian department is kind of like the closest to the entry. If I don't know if they changed. I doubt they would
It's
change.
there on to your
It's,
left.
it's on the left, yes, on the left, and you
Yeah,
have that statue, that face, and I
yeah.
forgot if it's Amenhotep the third, but
I think you might be right.
you have that large face.
But,
You
yeah,
have some other artifacts, like kind of like the four corners, or like two corners or something. But the large one that you see, you have that face, and then as you pass the door, you have the
that's the
Rosetta
one.
Stone, which is
Yeah,
crowded, and then you have all these other artifacts. So it's kind of like, if you're looking for Greece, Rome, you will not see something like straight away. You know. But,
hmm.
but there's no. I mean, the order is subjective. It's down to how it was built and what was acquired, at the time, and so on. But there's a lot to see, and I love going to these museums. There's so many I want to go to. I have the list, and I just love it really, and I'm gonna have to get more
There
thorough with
was
the method. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
the biggest surprise I ever had going to a museum when I went to the Louvre. I went to the Louvre Museum,
Mm.
and we're all looking for the Mona Lisa.
You didn't find it?
No, well,
Yeah.
you
It's
saw this
huge.
crowd.
You have to walk a lot. Yeah, you have to walk a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
actually a
but I
childhood
found
friend
it.
of mine. Oh, you find it? Okay, okay.
Yeah, I found it, but I was shocked at the size of it. I thought it was going to be a bigger painting, but it was really
Yeah,
small. It was quite
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
It was laughing, but
yeah. And
a
and
great piece.
you can't really get close like that. But
No, no.
what I didn't know, it's a childhood friend. I did a visit for him, and he told me, "Hey, Mona Lisa is here. I'd like to say that." I said, "Oh, you see, I didn't even. I think I didn't even know it was in the Louvre." So I was like, "Okay, let's
Yeah,
go." And then he told me about the eye trick. That no matter where you are, it's like she's looking at you. The eye
yeah.
effect that Da
It's a
Vinci
great
did.
piece.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of people indeed. What I'm saying, I kind of walked around it like that. But it was in the morning that we went. But
Mm.
did you get a chance to go to the ancient Egyptian department in the Louvre?
Yep. Yep, I
because
went there.
it's very large, and I think a lot of
Yeah,
tourists, they don't see all of it, because
no,
it's so large, and I think they
it's
kind of get
impossible.
lost. No, it's possible, but
It's
there's so
possible,
many
but you have to
rooms,
know.
and
Yeah,
it leads you to other like Greece, Rome, or
you
Asia,
need a lot of time
Mesopotamia. But
to
yeah, you
see
do.
even the
But
stuff in the
mhm.
British Museum. I
Yeah,
mean, I miss so
you
much,
need some
Shaka.
time.
When I come and see your videos, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh man, I didn't take the time out to look at
Yeah,
these
there's a
stuff that
lot.
you're saying. There's so
There's a
much
lot.
to look at, but you have
Mhm.
to have so much time. You could literally
You can
spend
spend a
maybe,
whole day.
yeah,
A
just
whole
on
day.
one piece, just to look at it properly and understand what it's saying, to maybe try and read the metadata and stuff like that. Or and they had another part upstairs which we found. We had the mummies, and I never knew they had a part
Upstairs,
upstairs
yeah, they have
in the
a
British
few mummies,
Museum.
and upstairs, like you mentioned, that's where they have the oldest artifacts, like 2000 BC and
Yeah,
so on. Yeah.
yeah. They also had a very interesting burial of was it a Nubian um gravesite? I done a video of that. I might do a shorts. And that was really interesting. The way the bodies, because they actually had the skeletons and that, and how they were burying. So I mean, the museums are great and they're free. And if anyone gets a chance to come to London, definitely go to the British
Yeah,
Museum.
the British Museum
They've got
is free of charge. It's a good thing because the Louvre
yeah,
Museum is not. It used to be free of charge every first Sunday of the month. That's when I used to do the visits, and when the day nobody showed up, I stopped. I used to do the visit, for free actually. Um, but then they started doing it like, every first Sunday of the month, like half of the year or something like that. It's a bit hard to keep track, but they might have that on the website. But the Louvre Museum is, yeah, it's free. It's People are very lucky. I mean, they have that thing when if you want to make a donation,
yeah.
but yeah. Now the,
I've
the
seen some
ticket
art,
is yeah. Go ahead, brother.
sorry, I've seen some artwork also in America, New York. Can't remember if it was might have been the Metropolitan
Yeah,
Museum I
I
went
think
to.
they have two. They have the Met Museum, and the other one I forgot what it's called, but I think they have a couple in New York.
Yeah. So I mean, worldwide, there's lots of stuff to look at for
Oh, now
Um,
now now it says that it's free. The first Friday of the month after 8. I'm sorry, after 6 p.m. So it has changed
wow.
now.
Well, I
Before it
might
used
have
to
to
be
come
free every
over.
first Sunday of the month. Yeah, but after 6
Mm.
p.m. you won't get to see much. I think
Oh, really?
it's closing at
8 o'clock,
9:45. So basically, you have like 3 hours,
3 hours.
3 hours and a half or so. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But the
That would more be for certain residents, people that live close by can maybe do that
Yeah, but the
and
thing
then
is that
catch up.
it's 6 p.m. I don't know about the queue, but the queue on a Sunday morning when it was free
Right.
of charge, it was off the change. Off the chain.
Wow.
I filmed it. It's just crazy queue.
Yeah.
It's like
Same thing in the British Museum. Because they've got security barriers. So you've got this sort of
mm.
security area.
Oh, I never seen that before. When I went, you just have the stairs and you just go
You
and
just walk in,
I
right? So now
guess yeah.
you got
Plus
to
it's
go
free
to
of
the left.
charge. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh,
you
they
got to go
changed
to
it
your
now.
left and walk up, and then they've got this massive tent, and you go
Mm.
in, and then you got to open your bag, and they look in
Oh,
your
okay.
bag.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I went before all that, but they have that in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Louvre as well. Now you have to. Maybe they always had that in the Louvre, but back then when I went, I don't remember that. I think I went at least twice, maybe three times to the Louvre Museum. Did you go to Petri Museum?
What is it? Is that in Paris?
No, it's in London. It's the college, London College. It's
No.
kind of hidden. It's not even far from the British Museum, but
Okay.
it's within the college or University of London, and
Okay.
it's somewhere on the left. But it's best to ask people. I struggle to find it. I really
Okay.
struggle.
I'm
It's
gonna
not it's
How
yeah,
do you spell
Petri
it?
Museum.
Petri.
Petrie. He's a very famous
Okay, I'm gonna check it.
Egyptologist. He
I'm
had
gonna
some
check it.
racist views, but he's very
Mm.
famous, and that's where we have what people call the Nama's head. Now he believed that
Ah.
that represents Nama, but we don't know. I guess it's anonymous. The funny thing is that Nefertiti, the bust, is anonymous, but they all say it's Nefertiti. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
there's a fair bit of artifact over there. We're not allowed to film, but we're allowed to take pictures. But that's where I met Katie, the degree with his lady, and I actually filmed the interaction that we had. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Petra Museum has a few nice things. It's not very large. It's kind of small. But yeah,
Right.
it's worth it. Because you're in London, so yeah, Petrie Museum,
Yeah, definitely.
Petrie. Yeah.
It's a day out for me and my missus, we're gonna go to the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is my favorite one, and they're also opening up a new Victoria and Albert Museum in Stratford, in my area, so over by the Olympic Park, which is quite interesting. So hopefully
Oh,
I won't have too far to walk, and maybe I might even try and get a job there.
oh, can you say the name again of that other museum?
Victoria and Albert.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you need to go. Yeah, that's a great museum.
Victorian.
It's in the Exhibition Way,
No,
Exhibition
this one
Road.
is Sweden, Australia. Because there's like a couple in England that I didn't know about, but there's one that you may like. It's in Oxford. It's called Ashmolean Museum, and it's a 2 hours drive. If I remember correctly, it's a 2 hour bus drive.
Right.
And actually, the last time I went to the British Museum, I also went to the Ashmolean Museum. Took the bus 2 hour drive, and the Ashmolean Museum has a lot of nice artifacts. They have a few replicas, but they do say when it's replicas. But
Right.
it's a very nice one. Just 2 hour bus drive, so you can just go for the day and come back, which is what I did.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oxford's.
Yeah.
I've seen the Magna Carta. That was in the King's Cross at King's Cross.
Station.
Yeah, the library. They have the
Okay.
British. The main library of London. I think it's called the British Library or something. It's a huge library. You can go in there. They've got all the books and all the archives of newspapers, which I like to go and look at. But I've saw the Magna Carta before. That was there. That was quite interesting.
All right. But me personally, I typically go to museums that have ancient Egyptian artifacts. The other museums I'm not really checking for them like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for the record, so all the new museums that I named, they have a significant collection themselves ancient Egyptian artifact.
How was the Cairo Museum? How was that? That must have been.
Oh, it was nice, but I didn't have much time. And when I went, we were not allowed to film nor to take pictures. Now, lately, one brother who was taking medical classes, he was staying in Egypt for a while for work, and he told me, "Oh, now we can film and all that." He even sent me some pictures, and it was nice, but we were limited in time. And I couldn't even take no pictures. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I guess most of it is going to be transferred to that new museum that is kind of complete, but we still don't have any opening date. Which is the largest archaeological museum in the world.
Okay.
And I've been waiting for the opening date. You know what I'm saying? I just want to find out if we will be allowed to at least take pictures. Because if we're not, then I may visit it if I go to Kemet, but I wouldn't go to Kemet just for that museum if we cannot take pictures. I hope that we'll be able to film, but if at least we can take pictures, then I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I'm waiting for. Once it's open, I want to see people have some, some videos or pictures. Because I am in Berlin, they have a few in Germany, but I have a feeling, I may be wrong, that in Germany or Berlin, let's say, we are not allowed to film because I barely see any pictures or videos, and they have a lot of artifacts over there as well. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll find out. I'm planning on going there as well. But people will be very disappointed if, once again, the largest museum in the world or largest archaeological museum in the world does not allow people to at least take pictures. They will be very disappointed.
Do you have to pay in the museums in Egypt? Are they all paid? You have to pay for everyone, do
Oh yeah,
you?
you have
There's
to
no
pay. Yeah,
free.
you have to pay for the
Mm.
sites. You have to pay, yeah, for them. Yeah, yeah. You do have to pay, indeed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, tourism is the number one source of income for Egypt. So yeah, of course, yeah, we'll have to pay. You have to pay.
Mm.
I mean, you pay tax to arrive in the country. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's a stamp or some sort of quote unquote visa or whatever they call it. But yeah, you have to. You do have to pay for all the sites. I actually kept the, I don't want to call them notes, but the receipts, they were nice. I filmed them anyway for the different
Mm.
sites that you go to. You know what I'm saying?
Before I forget and before I leave, you know the the image you had up earlier, you had the guys with the hairstyle. What was that? Braids or what was that? Or he had long hair. What was it?
Uh,
Was that the one?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah, that one.
some people will say it's dreadlocks.
Mm.
Royalty, particularly women, they were wearing wig, but I think men also were wearing wig, for hygienic
Right.
reasons, to avoid lices and other, you know,
So they
other
were
things
bald
as well.
headed
Yeah,
mostly.
that's what it is said.
Mm.
Now I don't know if it's every single one of them throughout all dynasties, but it's been said. I cannot tell which book, which scholar said it, but that they were bald headed, and they will wear wigs. You know what I'm saying? And we do have wigs in some museums. I know there's a very large one in what is it called again? Um, uh, Torino Museum or Turin Museum. They call it Torino.
Yeah.
Um, but so it's
And that's
difficult to say.
Osiris on the left. Is that
Come,
Osiris there?
yes, yes, it's
Yeah.
Osiris. Um,
And who's the woman
but
beside him?
that's Aset,
Oh, that's a
because
set. Okay,
we
yeah,
have
with
her
the head.
name
Yeah.
here. We have her name here. That's basically
All right.
Isis. Aset is Isis for those who
And
don't know.
that's the bull. That's the bull horn and the sun on the head.
Yeah, typically it's um Hathor, Heteru,
I thought.
who has that, but
Okay.
sometimes as Aset is depicted with that on her head. Because typically Aset will have a throne on her head, but here her name is there, so we know that's her.
Right. Okay.
But what was for sure, where was it? Okay, I was just confused. Um, if I go there, that's actually what I showed earlier. We have everyday people, because there's a chief dude who was saying, "Oh, that's a crown," and
Ah.
nowhere in the world people rowing a boat will be wearing crowns, and all these other people doing all sorts of different activity. That's their hair. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
the hairstyle here is like, kind of afro type of hairstyle. You know,
Yeah, I
I
saw
be
that
I
with
be
the guys
I,
that were doing the bread. You said that
I,
they were
I yeah
baking or something.
yeah, I'd be hard pressed to hear an Egyptologist say, "Oh, those guys on the boat, those they were in a helmet." You know what I'm saying? Because they will have a fair bit of hair method, but the other one here as well here, it's the same hairstyle. So the
Right.
commoners, it's safe to presume that
Mm.
this is the kind of hairstyle that they had. But for the royalty, yeah, we I would say, they will be bald headed and wear wigs. You know what I'm saying? But then, how long they used to do that? They probably didn't do that all throughout. The dynasties. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah.
And that bird, I've never seen a bird so big. Is it not? Are they normally represented
Oh, hold on,
But what
hold
does
on,
that
hold on.
represent?
What was it sharing just now? Was that sharing the videos?
No,
Oh
no.
snap! Dang, I forgot to share. I was just describing. Hold on.
Okay.
So those are the hair. See, is it sharing now? Yes, it is. I just forgot to share. But
Yeah, I
here,
see that.
you
Yeah.
see, those are common people. So,
Like an afro.
I, well, it looks like Afro to me. You know what I'm saying? You know. So that's one of them, and then there's the other one when they are on the boat, which is that one, and then there's many other depictions of
And they're
common
depicted quite
people.
darker skinned as
What
well. And the skin color is
dark brown indeed,
dark
and
brown.
but they don't usually show this kind of hue.
Dark
You know what I'm
brown,
saying?
no.
Yeah, but usually, I mean, this is 2000 BC. So a lot of time, the older now here it has faded away. You know,
So that could
but
have
on
been
the other
darker
ones,
brown. Mm.
well, most of the time it was darker. You know what I'm saying? But over time, the
And
coloring
these
has
things at
faded
the
away.
bottom, what were those?
What? Oh, those are canoptic jars. That's where
They're
they will put
jars.
the organs. You know.
Oh wow.
Hey, two real is in the place to be. What's up, brother?
Hey, too real.
What's going on, man?
Oh, just chilling, man.
Mm-hmm. Nah, you can keep doing what you were doing. I was just popping in.
But
I know.
those are dreadlocks. It's new, is it?
Huh?
Yeah, what's
It's not new.
Nah.
Okay.
Now let me show you something. No, I actually just cut them a little bit shorter though. Uh, man, they were long, man. Look, I cut a lot off my. They were long. I don't know if y'all can see
what
that.
you cut your locks for?
Nah, I cut them a little bit shorter because I work outside, and so
Oh,
it'd be hard like managing all my hair. But I always keep it. I always keep it tied up. That's probably why y'all don't see it.
Yeah, I don't even recall, really noticing you had dreadlocks, but
Yeah, yeah. Tell Haru, get at me. I know you Jamaican. This is my Jamaican. This is my Jamaican sweat.
Young
he's not
Heru is not
Jamaican.
Jamaican. He's from the Virgin Islands.
Oh, for real? I
Yeah,
didn't know that. I didn't know that.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I was waiting for Oh boy, he was going. He was in here before me, so he could speak, man. I ain't got it. I ain't trying to jump in front of nobody.
Well, feel
All
free,
right,
feel free.
Deja. I know he. I know he don't like me. He's like, man, I hate this thing.
Who doesn't like you? Jade.
You said what?
Who doesn't like you?
Deja. I know he
Yeah,
don't like me.
Jade. His name is Jade. Jade TV.
Nah, not him. Oh boy,
Afimi's
Oh,
talking.
Afimi. Oh, Afimi.
Afimi.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
he can speak for himself. He's here.
I know he don't like me, but
No, he's
so
not hearing. He's not hearing.
nah, he can hear.
Can,
He can
can,
hear.
can you
I,
hear
I
us, Afimi?
I beat him up on the Canaan thing. I know he's still a
You
little
sure?
salty. Yeah. He's
You
still a
sure?
little salty. Yeah, I'm sure.
With the top of the head, no name.
Oh my God, man. How come, Shaka, let me ask you this, man. How come when you pull up something, right, and it just say a name, that's good enough for you, but when it comes to the Bible, that's not good enough? Can you explain that?
You mean that there was a name in your artifact, brother?
I'm saying if there's an artifact with just a name, that's not good enough for you. You need like a body. You need this. You need
Oh,
that.
do you recall me asking for a body?
Yeah, you asked me. I show you a name, and you like, nah. I need more evidence than that,
Okay,
brother.
okay. You're talking about the mushroom head, right?
Man, I ain't talking about that Super Mario head. You
Well,
know what?
there we go. Because there was no name for that, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, there wasn't. Nah, there wasn't.
So you just said, "How come when I show you something with a name, then I don't accept it?" But there was no name.
So if I show you something with a name, you gonna accept it?
Well, I'm gonna accept, any artifact. I'm gonna accept. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But not something that comes out of space. If it's something that's legit. If some scholar mentions it, if it's found in a museum or temple. But
Yeah.
but feel free. Anything you want to share, feel free.
No, I ain't sharing nothing today, Shaka.
Okay.
You gonna
Anytime,
live today. You gonna live today.
anytime.
Nah, but I wanted to ask you a question though. Do you accept the artifacts and the temples and whatnot And I'm not going to name specifics because I don't really know specifically right now.
I mean, whether I accept something or not, it's like I don't make the rules. But if there are some artifacts and it's accepted by scholars, then um, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And but when it comes to the Bible, there's so few uh, artifacts when it comes to these patriarchs, you know,
Yeah.
and biblical characters. I
Hmm.
mean, for the most part, we don't have any. You know,
Okay.
and yeah, for the most part, we don't have any.
All right.
Like King David,
Oh my God.
there's an artifact that mentions the name David or Dawood.
Yeah.
But how do we know if it's King David? You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
I don't think it says King David. I think it just says David.
So you object to King David being the real person?
I don't think he was a historical person.
Okay.
And
But
if he was, then he would be somebody that ruled over like a neighborhood.
what?
Yeah.
Oh man, Shaka, you're real hard on the Bible, man.
No, it's
Real
not.
hard, bruh.
Okay, well. Do you know any records of David?
Nah,
Have
I
any?
don't know. I don't know anything that you accept. I know stuff they found that
No, no.
they
Listen, no.
attribute to the time of David.
Yeah, but the time of David, that's not David, because obviously there's surely something during his lifetime. You know, whatever his lifetime was. But that's
It depends. It depends on what type of lifestyle too, Shaka. The reason that we have a lot of Egyptian stuff is because they wrote in stone, and that lasts for long periods. Like you were saying with the Greeks, it's real brittle. It's real. Just it getting some moisture on it can ruin it. So it depends on what their cultural style was when it came to writing, when it came to their stuff. Right? Would you agree or no?
I mean, it sounds like an excuse. Okay, we don't have anything because
I'm
So
not saying we don't have anything.
But well, I would love to see
Yeah,
whatever you have.
but that's not what I was going to ask you though, Shaka. When I asked you, do you accept? I was going to say like from the Greek period that they ran Egypt, and from the time of the Arabs running Egypt. Do you accept stuff that they wrote from their lifetime? Do you study that stuff or anything, or do you only study like the old, middle, and the new kingdom?
I'll accept anything that's historical. So
When
if you
I
have,
say like accept it, like do you give it the same reverence as stuff that was built by the ancient Egyptians? Get what I'm saying?
I will value what was written by the indigenous inhabitants more than what was written way after by other people. But
Okay.
still, I will pay the appropriate attention. But of course, if we want to know about ancient Egypt, we have records during the lifetime of Ramesses II, Amenhotep III, and so many other rulers, and it should be prioritized if we deal with that time period. But when the Greeks were there, a lot of things were going on, and they wrote during that lifetime. So it's still interesting. But I mean, I don't think anybody will hear me rejecting some records. There are, I mean, real contemporaneous record for whatever time period you're talking about.
Even if it wasn't so-called black people, you gonna
Yeah, of
accept
course,
that too?
the Greeks are not black, so
Okay.
I'm not rejecting what was written, during some particular lifetime. But if somebody's going to present something to me that was written like hundreds of years after some alleged event,
Yeah.
and they expect me to believe those events take place, even though it was written centuries later, that's going to be a difficult task.
Because I've asked Jabari this question, right? And he immediately I brought up something from the Greek period, right? Um I think it was Horus and Set, right? Isn't that Horus
Is
and
it
Set?
the contendings of Horus and Set?
Right. I brought that up and I think it was either Jabari or Shaka, and they told me like, bro, get that out of here. That's from the Persian period. Like, we don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Well,
asked.
I don't even know the time period of the contendings of Horus and Set, because it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's only one writing that talks about this story, and there's a dude. I didn't watch his video. I would have watched it eventually sometime, but he was saying that the translation is wrong. He's actually talking about poison, not semen. Is that the dude that I nicknamed Pum Pum? But yeah, when I look at the Chester Beatty Papyrus 1. I wish I had. Hold on, let me see which one it is, because that's not the one that I. Hold on, Chester Beatty. Any date? 3rd century CE. Oh, that's funny because here I'm looking on Wikipedia. The contendings of Horus and Set. Now, the Chester Beatty, the first days. Oh, let's do it in real time. So here, I'm gonna share the link. Chat. There it is. So it says the Papyrus Chester Beatty 1 dates to the 20th dynasty during the reign of Ramesses V, who reigned circa 1100 BCE, and likely came from a scribe's collection that was recorded for personal entertainment. Chester Beatty Papyrus the first, or Papyrus 1, Oxford. The papyrus contains the story of the contendings of Horus and Set, as well as various other poetic love songs. The original provenance of the papyrus was Thebes. When found, the papyrus measured 22 inches and had been torn and crushed. The papyrus was published by the Oxford University Press in 1931 and currently is located in the Chester Beatty Library in Dublin. So that would be in Germany. Now, Germany, Ireland, my bad. I thought about Berlin. But the funny thing is that when I click on Chester Beatty Papyri, it says that I don't understand. Because check this out. It says contendings of Horus and Set is a mythological story from the 20th dynasty of Egypt, found in the first 16 pages of the Chester Beatty Papyri, and deals with the battles between Horus and Set to determine who will succeed Osiris as king. Now, mind you, when I click on Chester Beatty Papyri, it says that it's a group of early papyrus manuscripts of biblical texts. It says the manuscripts are in Greek and are of Christian origin. There are 11 manuscripts in the group.
Yeah.
7 consisting of portions of Old Testament books, 3 consisting of portions of the New Testament, referred with the category Aland NO or number, a list of New Testament manuscript, and 1 consisting of a portion of the book of Enoch and an unidentified Christian homily. And it says most are dated to the 3rd century CE. So this is where I'm confused, because here they say that most of the papyrus are dated to the 3rd century CE, but when we go back, it says that the Chester Beatty Papyrus dates to the 20th dynasty, 11th century CE. So we have how many centuries do we have? We have like what 1100. We have like 1400 centuries apart here. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. I've actually looked at that already, because that was the question I had, because he told me that Set is not even a native Egyptian god. He told me that that's a god that either the Greeks or the Persians introduced. That's what I was told. Horus, of course, goes back, but Set.
Set is an Egyptian nature. Who was it? Was it Amos, or was it?
I think it was Amos. I think it was Shaka Amos. I actually asked him. Like, I called in on the panel a long time ago.
Set is definitely an Egyptian nature.
How far does the dating go back on Set? Like, that you know of?
Well, that's difficult. It's always difficult to give a date for a god.
Right.
Now, if you're asking, like, what's the oldest reference of Set?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you exactly, but it is. I mean, we have many references on ancient artifacts. You know, it's no. Besides the terms, the name Seti derives from Set. You know, and we have many people
Isfet,
called
right?
Seti. Come again?
It derives from like Isfet, right? Like chaos,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. Seti, the name Seti,
Hmm.
I think it's Ramses the second's father. If I'm not mistaken, he was called Seti. Um, just gonna verify that. Ramses second. So if we look at, yeah, his father was Seti the first. You see. So no, it's not the same as Isefet, but it's a derivative of the name Seti. I'm sorry, it's a derivative of Set. You know, and as a matter of fact, don't we have the? Maybe if I put the French, hold on. So somebody just came on. Who is it? Oh no, so sometimes he does that when someone loses connection. Hold on, everybody's there. Okay. Um, if I put the French, maybe they'll put the actual glyphs. Oh, they don't have it. If I try SETI without the second Egyptology, I actually just wanted to show the actual glyph. Right there it is. That's that one there. It's difficult to describe this animal, you know, some sort of a canine. But that's set by itself here. And the double reed leaf, that's the E sound, so that's SETI, you know. So yeah, feel free if you have any other thing you want to add on.
Nah, that was what I wanted to ask you. Also, I heard I listened to you when you were breaking down why Osiris would have been green, right? I heard why he's depicted as green. I heard a theory from, I want to say Prince York. I want to say Prince York. You familiar?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I personally wouldn't,
What?
pay much. I wouldn't pay much attention. Me. I'm not saying don't.
Why not?
He's a Nubian. Nubians, they have a lot of pseudoism,
Everybody got some pseudo, man.
Well, I don't have any pseudoism in me.
Shaka,
Like,
you got some pseudo, man. I ain't gonna fuck with you tonight. I'm gonna leave you alone tonight.
well, next time, feel free to make a list of all the pseudo things I said. But what did
Man.
he say? Just go ahead. Feel free.
Well, he said that Seth was or that Osiris was green. Well, first of all, let me ask you this: where's Osiris from?
I mean, you mean as a human being? He's from Kemetic.
Where did he say he's from?
I'm not sure if he said exactly I'm from here or there, but that's a god. Like like I usually say, it's difficult to give a name for God. Like, how do we know how God came?
I think he's saying that he's extraterrestrial or something. Is that where you're going with it, too?
I haven't heard that.
He didn't. Hold on. He didn't say. Osiris didn't say he was from a certain star system, like one of the constellations. He didn't say I'm from this constellation.
I'm not aware of that. Now people talk about the Orion belt. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And they will make that kind of correlation, but it's like Yahweh didn't say where he comes from, did he?
No.
Well, I would say it's the same for Osiris.
Yeah, but you say yourself that they deified these people. No, you said they even had the tomb of Osiris.
No. Yeah, there is a tomb of Osiris. Doesn't mean that it's from his lifetime, because we haven't. To me, I'm not aware of any date.
So hold on.
For this nature. Hold on. Just to clarify, I just gave an example of some people who are human beings, real people.
Yeah.
And they were later deified, like Imhotep, like was it Ramesses? I forgot, but I showed the king's name and his mother as well, and another person, Hekaib. But go ahead, feel free.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's it. No, just feel free. I just want.
I was just so hold on. They built a whole tomb, and I'm sure it's not small, is it? It's probably pretty big.
It's kind of large. There's a video of it. It was found. I forgot the name of the The person
So
that found it, you
you
know.
telling me?
Some people presume it's just a what did you call it? Like a symbolic time of doom. You know what I'm saying?
So they wasted a whole bunch of time building a tomb for a deity
It is there.
that's not real.
You mean? Well, you can say it's not real. It's fine, but there is a tomb that's attributed to Osiris.
No, I'm saying Osiris is not real. So why would they waste their time building a whole tomb for him?
Well, is Yahweh real? To me, Osiris is as real as Yahweh.
Yeah, but they don't have a tomb of Yahweh with a sarcophagus that belongs to him.
I didn't say there was a sarcophagus, but you know,
I mean, they went all the way to that point to build all this stuff.
Well, you know,
Isn't that quite strange?
Hold on. We're gonna find that together. I'm pretty sure it's there because it's something like Osiris tomb.
Because I was with you when you were saying that these were real people and then they later deified them. But now you're saying that he's not real. Probably not real.
I'm sorry, come again?
I was with you earlier when you said that these were real people and then later they deified them and gave them these attributes.
No. But check this out.
Okay.
I was showing examples of people who were like real human beings as we understand, and later on they were deified. Now, initially the point was, okay, what about those gods? Young Hero was asking about them, you know, where they're real people. And I don't know, I couldn't say for sure. But since they are gods, we don't even have dates for them. How will we know? Okay, is that maybe it was initially a real human being that was later deified? Maybe not. Maybe it was some entity, some force in nature, force in creation that they decided to roll with or roll by. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. Like, we don't even have dates, you know. But hold on. For the record, Tomb of Osiris.
I'm just saying either he's real or that's some strong belief. If you're gonna waste your time building a whole temple to a deity that don't exist, that's some belief right there for your ass.
I don't know. It's just you who said that. Like we don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're saying it too right now. You're saying that Osiris probably ain't real. Or you saying you don't know?
I'm saying I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna let you stay. I'm gonna let you stay on the fence, Shaka, because you know you want to say Osiris ain't damn real. You know that you want to say Osiris ain't real. He's a deity that they created.
It's a
That's
god.
what you want to say.
It's Osir is a god. Now, if he was a human being that was later deified, I don't know. If he was not the case, I don't know. But here, this is Fox.
Okay.
It says it here. Let's listen to it shortly. I'm gonna put the volume off, just for the sake of the tune.
A mummy that Dr. Hawass thinks is one of the oldest ever to be found in its own resting place. And then Susie and Zahi slid down a 19-inch passageway 60 feet into the Queen's Pyramid. And that's where they found what they believe to be an unfinished tomb. If it's unfinished, Zahi, why was it unfinished?
Because the sarcophagus looks unfinished and the room full of stone rubble that dated to the Old Kingdom. And this is why I believe that this...
Just say this for the record, you know. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. So that would not be that one. So I'm going to fast forward.
Never used.
And everything. I mean, this is live TV. We don't have
it says Queen's Pyramid Burial Chamber. So that would not be that one.
Author John Anthony West sees something more.
And dissolves away as water.
The only way that
clearly predate the modern system.
And if that's
surprise us and break
a benevolent God King
in water for the other
engraved with hieroglyphs.
Yeah, that's the layout. So that would be the one. Let me go back a little bit.
For the other level, this is
ladders. Now it gets intimidating. The second leg is a major drop. as the shaft narrows before opening to a room once obscured by dirt and sand. Zahi and his men cleared it to find a burial chamber with 6 rooms. So this is the second level, 55 feet down, right?
Yeah.
What did you find here?
You know, I excavated this part. I found 6 rooms cut in the rock, 2 red granite sarcophagus, and pottery and bones.
What do the bones teach you?
Bones tell us about the people. Pottery gave me the date of this place, 500 BC, 2,500 years ago.
And what made you think that there was anything beyond this?
You have to look for the other level. This is the adventure. Let me take you to show you the most amazing thing that you've ever seen in your life. But let us take our jackets off because it's so hot there.
Oh my. Upon discovery, the 3rd level was submerged. When the water was pumped out, Dr. Hawass had the find of his life. No fear of the unknown?
Yes, but there is great adventure in archaeology. خلاص وقفوا بقى ورجعوا هناك.
So we're 100 feet down now. What is this?
Susie, this is the tomb of Osiris.
The god of the underworld. This once extravagant mausoleum, a moat with 4 pillars engraved with hieroglyphics constructed thousands of years ago, was intended to be a symbolic shrine for the keeper of the afterlife.
So what's interesting is that I've seen,
Wow,
you know,
that was amazing. That
yeah,
was amazing. What I just
yeah,
saw. That was whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
because
whoa, whoa.
I've seen him talking about this, you
Breathtaking.
know, but I don't recall it was Zahir was. Now he said himself, this is the tomb of Osiris. Now the voiceover was saying this is a symbolic one. What's confusing to me is that earlier upstairs he said that one of the pot or whatever artifact it was allowed him to date the to come up with the date of 500 BC. 500 BC is very recent. But here they just mentioned like this was built thousands of years ago. So that's a different area. But for the record, you know, we heard it from Dr. Zahir Was, which is one of the most famous Egyptologists in the world. And yeah, I guess I can stop there, you know.
Yeah, if it's 500 BC, it can't be.
Yeah,
Can't
but
be
then again, 500 BC, that's what
Osiris,
that's
'cause he's
the stuff that he
older
took
than
from the
that.
floor, like when they were upstairs. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So that's yeah. Because here, you know, I mean, I can
okay.
play it again. That the lady on the voice over, she mentioned it was built thousands of years ago.
Now, what is this?
Susie, this is the tomb of Osiris.
The god of the underworld. This once extravagant mausoleum, a moat with 4 pillars engraved with hieroglyphics constructed thousands of years ago, was intended to be a symbolic.
Now, some people may argue, okay, if it's 500 BC, it could still be well, I don't know. Now 500 BC, well, it could still be thousands of years ago, but you know that would be tricky. Like you know, we are 2000 AD, but yeah, I mean, but for sure that the 500 BC was talking about is that piece of pottery or whatever he had in his hand. You know what I'm saying?
He said bones, right? Did he not?
No, I think maybe he said bone. You can go back,
Because I
but it
was
was
gonna say if he just found some bones laying on the ground,
no.
like
He's holding it there. I don't think it's a bone. I think this is some pottery.
let,
But
play, play
let's
it, play it again.
yeah,
Let's see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Bones tell us about the people. Pottery gave me the date of this place.
So see, he talked about bones, but then he talks about pottery. You know.
He might have said
Bones
bowl.
tell us about
No, he said bones. He did say.
Oh,
He,
okay,
he he talked about bones, but then he talks about pottery.
and
right,
bones.
okay.
What do the bones teach you?
Bones tell us about the people.
Bones tell us about the people.
Yeah,
Pottery
but why the hell would there
gave me
just
the
be some
date.
bones
Hold
laying on the
on,
damn
hold on,
ground?
hold on, hold on. Then he says pottery.
Teach you.
Bones tell us about the people. Pottery gave me the date of this place, 500 BC.
Pottery gave me the date of this place, 500 BC. So that place where they are, that piece of pottery, gave the date of 500 BC. What was your question, brother?
I was saying, why the hell is there just some bones laying on the ground?
Brother, you asking some stuff I have no answer for.
That's all I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't know, but at least we have something. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
mean, maybe that's somebody. I don't know. Maybe somebody died down there. When you just have some bones laying on the ground, didn't they bury people? You just got bones laying on, like a dead body just laying there in the tomb.
I have no
He said it
answer
was an
for what you're asking
unfinished
me.
place, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was somebody that
He said
came
it
later.
was.
I mean, let me share the link to this. And this is only 18 minutes, so obviously it's not the full
Yeah.
thing. But I'm gonna put Zahi.
But either way, Shaka, I mean, you seen what the recreation of that temple, man. That's some work went into that. All that for somebody that ain't real and some deity.
You're saying it ain't real. They did not see it as such, did they?
They found a body down there in the thing.
Now, don't quote me, but that documentary that I saw years ago, I think I think the guy, but I don't think it was Zahi was said that they found a face, a head or something. But don't quote me on that because I've seen it
What?
years ago. The main thing I remember is that they found a tomb for Osiris, and to me, it's a symbolic tomb. To me, you know what I'm saying? No, but if you want to say, I mean, I cannot create things. I can just
I mean, you're making my argument even better by saying it's symbolic.
the
Because then
lady
you're
said,
saying that they
see, the lady
believed
said,
it.
I didn't work on that documentary, and the voiceover, the lady said symbolic, but I don't know what else to tell you. If you believe he's not real, then more power to you.
I'm not saying one way or another. What I'm saying is, if he's not real, then they believed in him because they went through all that trouble to build a whole thing for him. So they obviously believed, paid him reverence, believed in him.
Well,
That's some strong. That's some
people,
strong belief.
people in ancient Egypt believed in Osiris because he's a god. You know what I'm saying? Just like some
Whatever.
people believe in Allah, just like some people believe in Yahweh and Jesus and Angel Gabriel.
Oh,
You know what I'm
so the
saying?
Egyptians had belief.
What we call belief, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. That
You
that
know,
was that was what I was saying. Yeah. Because the argument is that Egypt knew everything. They didn't believe nothing they knew.
who
You
said
know,
Egypt knew everything?
not everything, but what they studied, they knew for sure. It wasn't like when it came to like I've even heard uh Egypt Egyptmania which with Garfield where they were saying that um
Garfield is the least credible source around. You know what I mean?
nah, but the people on there and he's co-signing them, and this is what I'm hearing coming out of their community is that um they they knew that Osiris and all these guys weren't real.
Who said that?
This is what they're saying. Like Reggie, for instance.
Butler Reggie. I mean, this guy, he bangs on Kemetic people.
Yeah.
He's down with rapists and child molesters on that panel over
So you
there.
don't agree with that?
I barely agree with anything that Reggie says. He's a straight
Oh,
up
okay.
butler.
Well, then we in the
You know,
same boat. Yeah,
he's
we in
the
the
one.
same
He's
boat.
the one who said he has no regret giving information to a pedophile, and he said that 3 times in a row when Frankie was asking him.
Yeah.
He said that Ma'at is a bird. He said that Heru is Greek, so he's pseudo. But yeah, there were beliefs. Indeed, we have the
Okay.
scale, the weighing of the scale. You know, now you have on one hand the feather of Ma'at, on the other hand a heart, and it's
So were
supposed
there
to be.
were their beliefs in vain? Were their beliefs not real? Were they all in vain? Now that we're in 2023, looking back.
It's subjective.
Okay.
If people believe that some humans spent days inside of a well and was spat out by the well, intact and well and healthy,
Mm,
it's on them. To me, I would think it doesn't make sense, but that's a belief. If people
yeah.
believe that there was a burning bush that was in flame but was not being consummated, if people believe that when Jesus died, some saints went out of their grave and they walked and talked to people, it's on them. I don't know how long they've been dead, but for strange reason, they just, and this is in the Bible. So you have the feather of man on one hand, you have the heart on the other hand. It's at the same level. Some people would say it's a belief, it's symbolic. You know what I'm saying? There's the creature called Amit. It's a hybrid of a crocodile and a hippopotamus, and maybe another one, another animal as well. And what is said, the belief is that if you are not ma'acheru, true of voice, or just a voice, then this creature will devour you. You know, so that goes to the realm of belief. You know.
Okay, nah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Finally, we agree on something. We you say we never agree.
No
We agree
thing,
on that.
but the thing is that when it comes to belief,
Mm,
who's to say it's legit? It's not legit. It's subjective. You know.
I
When it
agree.
comes to God, I don't know God. Never spoke to God, and I don't know what happens in the afterlife. I don't know what happens when people die. You know. Some people think they know what happens because they have a belief. You know.
Facts, facts. Okay.
And the
Yeah.
thing that's interesting is that Africans or black people, we had beliefs, we had some way of life. Europeans came and said, "Your stuff is pagan. This is the real deal." And now we're just following what they told us from this point on.
And them Europeans brought Jesus and Abraham and all that,
Yes, indeed.
huh? Like
Don't
they
you
they
agree?
they introduced it to the blacks in Africa.
Yes, don't you agree?
No.
Okay, so those slave dungeons, with the Star of David,
Hmm.
and
Talking
this.
about before that, like when Africa did blacks get the Bible from Europeans, or did Europeans get the Bible, the concept
The,
of the Bible? When
the
I'm not speaking of the King
Africans got the
James.
Bible. Africans got the Bible from Europeans, yes,
Okay, let me say it like this:
and the Quran as well.
the scriptures, right? I'm not gonna say the Bible because you're gonna look at the date of the Bible and see that yeah, it was Europeans that had the physical Bible, but we know that there are texts that correlate to the Bible that are written before the Bible was written. So would you say that those texts, the
What
first text,
what text are you talking about, brother?
I mean, even the Torah predates the Bible, So
But
speaking in terms,
you can't believe that, but we don't have any of those texts, do we?
you're saying the Torah doesn't predate the Bible like I have up here.
Yeah, but when you say the Torah, you're not talking about an actual text, are you?
No, I'm just talking about the
First 5 books of
somebody
Moses.
had, yeah, the first 5 books that came before the
I
Bible.
mean, I mean,
Before we have the Bible.
chronologically, if you go with the belief, then
Mhm.
you would think that the Torah comes before, but we don't have
Mm.
the Torah,
So
do we?
okay. So like the Pentateuch and all that stuff, you're saying all that is European in origin. Everything, like all the scriptures from the first 5 books, is all European in origin.
But if I'm not mistaken, the earliest Bibles we have Codex Sinaiticus, and Codex Vatican, Vaticanus, or something like that.
Mhm.
They are
They're
around
not Greek.
300.
And were they translations?
Well, initially it was Greek, to my knowledge.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
whatever translation, there's surely many translations, but I'm not aware of any full
Hmm.
Torah written in Hebrew, or any writing of the Torah that predates it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I'm not aware of it.
Yeah. Okay. Me either, like off the top of my head. So I'm just listening. I'm just trying to learn because I don't know the first story either. That's a good question.
And
You know.
and and I'm glad that you're hearing this point, because I did not make that point up. Many people have worked on the archaeology of
Mm.
the Bible and anything that's related to the Bible. And for years I've been trying to tell people, what I'm saying, like, where is it? You know, and many people believe that you just go to some museum and then you will have some original Bible or stuff like that. I'm saying, I talk to a lot of people in the street, Jehovah's Witness, different kind of Christians, and Some of them told me, she said they're in museums, and I said, which museum? A lot of people think that you go to the Louvre Museum or the British Museum, and you have like, oh, there it is, like the oldest Torah in the world or something like that. They just presume.
I've never heard of that. No.
Mm. But Codex Vaticanus is 4th century, basically AD. You know what I'm saying? And Sinaiticus, Codex Sinaiticus is 4th century as well, and it's written in Greek. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that the origin of the Torah and all this is originally Greek?
Well, when you ask me this question, like, yeah, the origin, people would say he comes from the Israelites, from the Hebrews,
The Hebrew, yeah.
the Canaanites, but I'm focused on the actual physical evidence.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, the Greeks, somehow, some way, they came up with those writings, and maybe there's a Hebrew Torah somewhere that predates it. I think we have fragments, different texts, stuff like that, and hence the apocrypha writing. But I don't think we have and I'm not saying we don't have. I'm saying I'm not aware of a full Torah or full Pentateuch in Hebrew that predates the Codex Sinaiticus and Codex Vaticanus. But once again, I'm not claiming that's the case. I'm just saying I'm not aware of it. There might be, and somebody may tell me tonight or tomorrow or in a few weeks' time, okay, here it is. So until then, it's safe to say that Europeans brought these things to us.
Did not Egypt? It's got a lot of comparisons with early Egyptian writings with the Bible. I was watching one of your videos.
Yes, there is. Yes, I have an article
You had
about
quite
that.
quite overwhelming evidence of they were so similar.
Yeah, and I've only,
not for exact word for word, but for the actual meaning of it.
I would say plagiarism, but I'm being
That's what I'm
diplomatic.
getting at. So like, how can if they have the same stories, then that would tell you that they got it from a time before. The same stories, they just put their own spin on it. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then it's not Greek and European in origin. They just took it and translated it to a language they can understand in a style that they can understand. But they took it from blacks because there's verbatim scriptures from the Bible that are in Egypt. That's telling you that they're getting it from something older. You get what I'm saying, Shaka? Or no?
Well, if that's the case, people should focus on the original rather than the copy.
I focus on both. Like I study Egypt. I'm nowhere near close to you.
You focus more on the Bible, don't you?
Of course. Yeah, I do.
But what's
Yeah.
the original though? What's the original writing?
The original, I feel like, is a compilation of all the cultures that were in that area of time. There's some that's from the Sumerians. There's some that's from the Egyptians.
You sure there's something that's
You
from
ever
Samaria?
see
That's
y'all,
Garfield says that.
y'all
But,
ever see how
Okay.
y'all
Go ahead,
ever
Afimi.
y'all ever see how white people when they do their renditions, when they copy, when they do, I mean, I don't want to say blackface, but whenever they try to express certain things, like even right here in America, where they speak the same language as the black people here and everything, you ever see how accurate they are when they try to use black people's lingo and all that? Even though it's the same language, they never really come across too right with it. So when it comes to a situation where you got white folks giving you their versions of cultures that are just totally different from them, languages that are totally different from the language that they speak and whatnot, I don't know how much I'd want to trust it.
So then we can't by that logic though. That's fair logic. I agree with that. But by that logic, then we can't trust the Coptic and the Meta Netra because the scribe from 1200 BC said that the writings of the so-called European was incoherent when it came to them trying to write about Egyptian scriptures. And you can look that up, Shaka. It's in the if you
Well,
look
I would say you made a mistake, respectfully, because
okay.
the scribes of 1200 BC, I don't think they will write about Europeans.
Read go ahead and read it. All you
Where?
gotta type in Egyptian language and go to the wiki, go down to
Well, I'm familiar with the Egyptian language, but scribes of
yeah,
1200 BC. You said
1200
what?
BC. Yeah.
That's 1200 BC.
1200
I
BC.
I don't think they will be talking about
Go
Europeans.
read it.
Where?
It's it. All you have to do is go to Google, type in Egyptian language, go to the wiki, and go down to either history or
Yeah, but you
or
have to know, like when you're ready, let me know, because if I start doing that, yeah, but scribes of ancient Egypt, that's not precise. Like, yeah, like here
I
we have
mean,
lists of ancient
Europeans
Egyptian
started coming
scribes.
into Egypt. Europeans started coming into Egypt like in the hundreds BC, like
right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have
not in
mentions
the
of
thousands BC.
is it what? It's not Scythians, is it? Which Crete? We have people from the island of Crete. I forgot the name of Mednetra, but
The Minoan.
no, I forgot that. Keftiu, probably it is.
Okay.
Let me see if it's Keftiu. You see here, Egyptian inscription.
Mm.
The name Kaptar is found written in hieroglyphs in the list of locations in the Ptolemaic Temple of Komombo in Upper Egypt and is regarded as a reference to Kaftor. The reference KPT, that's the Aleph, that's the A sound, R, should not be confused with other inscriptions at the temple from earlier sites mentioning a locality called Keftiu. So I thought I wrote it that way, but let me try it again. Keftiu. Let's continue then. Hold on. Reference to what was
Are
that?
the Ptolemies the Europeans we're talking about?
No. He's talking about some Ptolemaic temple of Komombo. But here, hold on. Keftiu listed among lands to the northeast of Egypt and having different spelling and pronunciation, although it has been conjectured by some scholars that this is also a reference to Kaftor. Attempts to identify Kaftor with Keftiu go back to the 19th century and argue that R changed to E or Y in the Egyptian language. However, the name Kaptar, now what is Kaptar? Kaftor is a locality mentioned in the Bible, which its people are called Kaftorim, name as a division of the ancient Egyptian. Kaftor is also mentioned in ancient
So
inscriptions from
which
Egypt,
specific
Mari.
group of
Well, that's what I want to find out. Mari, Ugarit. Now, Mari, that's Syria, modern day Syria, and Ugarit also. Um, Jewish sources place Kaftor in the region of Pelusium, and Pelusium, that's in the Nile Delta. Though modern sources tend to associate it with localities such as Cilicia, which is in Anatolia, Cyprus. Uh, that's the island in the Republic, or Crete. So it's not definite so far from this article. But anyway, I was just saying all this to say that the closest, you see, Devani is by road cave to you. The closest into European that we will find on ancient Egyptian sources that will be, the cave to you. But yeah, but no, 1200 BC. I doubt that we have any texts making reference to people that we know as Europeans today. I'm not saying we won't find European because that's obviously not an ancient Egyptian word. But besides Kefti, I mean, I don't think so. But feel free to, Will, or Femi or anybody else, Jade, anybody. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I was letting somebody
Okay.
else add on. I ain't trying to hog the mic.
Hey,
But I'm
okay.
reading it right here. I'm reading it
Random
right here, though, Chuck.
factoid.
Okay, well, share your screen, please.
I can't. I'm on my tablet.
Is it Wikipedia link?
Yeah, you
Is
could
it,
just. All I typed in was Egyptian language and went to the Winky.
okay, hold on. Let me do that then. Am I
Yeah.
still sharing? Let me share again. How you doing, Sister Andrea?
Hi. Hi. Hi, gentlemen. You have to excuse
Oh,
me. My sinuses are
you have to.
draining, so I sound horrible.
Yeah, you have to take
Oh
a little
wow.
cold. So hold on. Egyptian language, right? So here it is. So where should I go now? Because you have
The,
all these different sub categories or
if you go under dialect.
dialect. Okay. So here he talks about one Egyptian letter described jokes that his colleagues' writing is incoherent, like the speech of a Delta man with a man of Elephantine. Delta, that's the northern side of Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not Europe.
Oh, he's speaking on the Coptic though when it's saying that the language it wouldn't have even been understood by the Coptic then. That was my point of pointing that
But
out.
here you see it clearly says in one late Egyptian letter,
Yeah.
there's described that jokes
Mm-hmm.
that his colleagues writing is incoherent, like the speech of a Delta man.
Right.
So he's making the joke that you it's like today I'm saying, oh, you write so bad, you write like a doctor.
Right. So it must have been pretty bad. It would have been incoherent.
That's a joke, brother. You can't
Okay.
say it's a joke on your social.
Yeah, it's a joke, but it's a joke pointing to the fact that those people of that time that would have been incoherent to the Egyptians. They would have looked basically he's joking that you sound like one of those guys over there. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what he's saying.
What's funny? I saw him on fake. He made a joke with Smash, Boom Boom Smash, saying that he sounds like Pootie Tang, like what's that, whatever. So somebody would say, "Oh, we don't understand Boom Boom Smash, but we still understand him." You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna
I
have
see
to
what
check.
you're
I'm
saying.
gonna have to check his voice. I can't remember him. I can't remember what he sounds like, but I've got to check that again. That's so funny, though. I remember the name.
So the northern part that it's talking about right there, that's also black people like Elephantine and people that is speaking of the Delta. Those are black people.
I would say so. Yes, around that
Okay.
time period in the Delta, Elephantine. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would say so. Yes. So feel free, Sister Andrea.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, for me, it's okay to know a thing, or learn a thing and stuff like that. All the history that's been, that comes forth. But it's a different thing to believe that thing based upon somebody's story, right? We just can't just believe everything that comes our way just because, it's okay to learn and to know those things, but to constantly put a belief on to something to make it real takes away from who we are as individuals, because everybody is not going to believe what what I say, or anybody on the panel says. I mean, that's left up to each person's interpretation. So to say that one thing holds more weight than the other, to me, takes away from the authenticity of what is out there for people to experience on their own, right? Because if somebody's telling me that in order for me to go to quote unquote heaven, I have to believe the way you believe, then that takes away from anything that other people have said about this journey that we're going through in life. And to say that those things are wrong and the only thing that's right is what you're telling me based upon your belief system. So I just think it's just better for each of us to know what you know and be confident in who you are in knowing that. But that doesn't mean I have to believe that what I know is the end all and cure all for everybody, and that if you don't believe it the way I believe it, then you're going to some place that's going to cause you to suffer some eternal damnation. I think that's ridiculous. So, and then to know some of these things on how certain people are treated based upon what people have written down about their experience in this life takes it to a whole nother level that people are experiencing that we shouldn't have to. There shouldn't be slavery, but slavery is written somewhere. There shouldn't be, genocide, but genocide is written somewhere. All these things that people are experiencing in life, they're trying to make them the standard of what we're supposed to do and believe in and it shouldn't be that way. If you believe there's a God, that's fine. That's fine for you, but you shouldn't force that, which was done to a lot of people. Belief systems are forced on people. Either you accept it or we're going to murder you, or you're going to, we're going to torture you. We're going to do something. Why then would I want to believe in that if the end result is the taken away of my life if I don't? I mean, it makes no sense to me. But to know a thing is different, because I can know all that I want to know and live my life where it's not hurting or causing harm to anybody else, because I know that thing, right? Beliefs cause people to get in trouble, because if you, as Stevie Wonder's song says, if you believe in things you don't understand, you suffer. And people are suffering unnecessarily behind stuff they don't understand. And that's what I appreciate Shaka coming out here for, because he's trying to give us an understanding of the history and all the stuff that's out there that's available to learn and know about. But he's not trying to force people to believe that in the way of, if you don't believe how he believes it, something bad is going to happen to you. And that's why people are drawn to that. People are tired of hearing all this other stuff that makes it hard for people to know themselves. It's to yourself be true. Know who you are, and you can pick up all that knowledge everywhere. But if knowing all this stuff doesn't cause you to change who you are, because a lot of people know a lot of stuff, but they remain the same, it's not doing you good. It's all about learning and growing and learning and growing. And I can't stay stuck in a book somewhere that there's no progression, because there's just too much that's been happening in the world, and people keep jumping back in that Bible or jumping back and saying, well, it's God's will. Well, how do you know that? How do you know that? Who said that to you? How do you know for yourself that that's what that is? And that's what I take away from all the stuff that's been happening, especially in the last 6 or 7 months, would prove to everybody that belief systems are fickle, because they go to the person's whim. When you got people interpreting in the Bible saying it's okay to rape people, or it's okay to do a certain thing, because that's what all this premise was about for the last several months, then that belief system needs to be challenged and it needs to be put to rest, because it is harming people. So that's how I feel about that. We can't keep believing stuff that's causing harm on other people. Knowing stuff doesn't do that. When I know what I know, I'm not going to go out there and take it and beat somebody beside the head. I just know what I know. But what all this stuff that's been happening, like I said, for the last few months, has proven to be other than what is beneficial for people. So, like when I learned that vitamin D was good for people, I told people I'm not going to sit back and keep something that's valuable from people that need it. But all this belief stuff, it's a whole nother thing, and it's causing too many problems. But that's just my opinion.
She's talking to you, Jade. She's talking to you, man.
Yeah, she's talking to me, man. Yeah, well, I have to agree. If she's speaking to me, I have to agree.
I'm not speaking to anybody.
She's talking to me. She's talking to me.
No, I'm talking. I said everybody. I said everybody, but I know that certain things, certain belief systems cause us to get in trouble, and that they put too much on people that we shouldn't have to be bearing underneath somebody else's interpretation of a particular thing, right? Like I said, I have not one time since I've been coming out here listening to Shaka, him say, if you don't believe it this way, XYZ is going to happen. I haven't heard him say that. He presents what he knows, and then you go from there. You decide if you want to believe that or not. But most people who are follow some type of religious dogma will tell you there's a consequence for you not believing the way they believe. Not that don't even give me a chance to know it. As soon as you come to them, oh, if you don't believe in such, you're going to hell. Well, I don't. Okay, then I won't bother, because now you're telling me that you haven't even given me a chance to understand what it is that you do, or how you do what you do, or why you believe what you believe. It's just you know, you're going to hell, or you're going to, you know, you're going to the lake of fire or whatever. And it makes no sense to me.
You take that same stance with the Egyptians?
Like I said, I'm all about what you know. I don't care about what you believe in, you know, because beliefs are fickle.
No, you said that if you commit a sin that you're going to hell, right? And you're saying that people forcing that belief on you, right?
I'm not, yeah, if they choose to do that, yeah.
So when the Egyptians say that if your heart is not as light as a feather, you going to be, your soul or whatever is going to be ate by a crocodile. Do you stray away from it when you hear that type of stuff?
So for me, again, I go by what it is that I want to learn and what I want to know. I'll keep what I think is pertinent, and then don't take the
Eat the
rest.
meat, spit
I
out
mean,
the
that's
bones.
for
Yeah.
each of us.
Yeah.
So everybody should do that. But when you're forcing, like, again, I have not heard Shaka one time trying to force anything on anybody. I haven't
Yeah.
heard, but you can go other places where people are doing that. But
Hey,
yet they want
I'm
to
the
tell.
first Israelite to come on here. I ain't telling none of
I'm
y'all
not
try to
saying
convert
you.
nobody.
I'm not saying you. I'm
Yeah,
just.
okay.
That's why I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying you can go
Okay.
other. That's why I
You
said other
would work
places. I
as
didn't
an
say to other
Israelite.
people. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go other places and hear
Yeah.
that this is
You
what's expected. This is the norm. This is how it's going to be done. If you don't do it this way, this is the consequence of the action. So in some regards, like even with the Hebrew Israelite, like, you know, that's why you believe you're under a curse, because somebody said that this happened because you didn't believe God. Well, I don't want to believe that I'm under some curse because of what somebody did some thousands of years ago. I mean, I'm sorry. It's
I
hard for
agree
me to
with
keep
you.
swallowing that, right?
Yeah.
It's too much for it gets beyond the just knowing part, because then the belief kicks in that says, you got to believe this because that's the only way that explains your lot in life. But that isn't the only thing that explains our lot in life. We got things to do, we got things to work on, and each person has to do their part to make this life a better place for everybody else to live. And so that's how I feel about it. But
Yes,
you know,
ma'am. No, I agree. I agree with you. Go ahead, Deja. You were gonna say something when I said I'm an Israelite, bro.
You see, that's the way you were saying the name or whatever earlier, which is why it wasn't clicking to me that you were talking to me, because it's Dea. It's not Deja.
Like
So
in
Oh, my
that's
bad,
why
bro.
it just wasn't
Dea.
clicking to me.
Okay, my bad.
It's nothing to apologize for. I'm just saying
Okay.
that's why it wasn't clicking to me that you were talking to me. But
You knew I was talking to you, bro.
He thought you was
You knew
blanking
I
him.
was talking. You knew I was talking to him. You changed your name to
Deja?
Canaan, man. You changed the name to Canaan at one point. I'll call you Canaan.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you Canaan, man.
Huh?
But you know, I gotta smite you then. If I'm gonna call you Canaan, I gotta take you out, man.
Oh, here we go. He's
Um,
starting to smite people now.
Nah, I'm just
This is
messing
what
with you,
Andrew
man.
was talking about.
There's
Leave
a
us
couple
alone,
of
you bully.
there's a couple of things when it comes to what Andrew was talking about, right? Like within every religion, they have a thing of, if you do wrong, there's consequences. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is with universal religions is the concept of converting people. Going around and just saying that I have the true religion, you don't, and I have to give you this religion that I have by force. If you don't take it, I'm gonna kill you, blah blah blah. Like I don't, y'all probably know about like the story of the Panari Indians in Venezuela, how they got converted to Christianity. White folks came there and was trying to convert them, but they didn't have words in their language for certain terms, having to do with like sin, guilt, so on and so forth. So the I guess it was the Spanish. They rewrote the story of Jesus in the language of the Panari, and they wrote it that it was the ancestors of the Panari that betrayed Jesus and, you know, sold him out to the Romans and so on and so forth, and got him murdered. So that made the Panari feel, because you know, with indigenous peoples in general, they have a thing where they'll feel like they owe, you know, their ancestors gosh, what's the term? They feel like they
Reverence.
like if their ancestors did something wrong, they should do something to make up for it and whatnot. That's
Spiritual.
typically how they are. So they rewrote the story of Jesus to make it that the Panari's ancestors killed Jesus. So then they started to feel the sense of guilt and sin that then made them convert to Christianity. I don't agree with that type of stuff. I was in a live stream just yesterday, and there was a guy that he kept making a couple of points where he was asking stuff about did white people say specifically this or that or whatever. Did they say that we must be pro-white? And I was just like, yeah, no, they didn't say those exact words, but you can tell certain things with just people's actions, man. When they're making your language illegal and saying you got to speak their language, that's them saying, yeah, you got to be pro-white. They're trying to create a situation where everything that's in the society is all about them and their culture and whatnot, and how they're doing so is about banning everything about you and your culture. I didn't put this to him because he said the same thing about like he made a point about religion, about when they went into Africa and whatnot, and I wasn't thinking of it at the time because it's been the longest time since I've had to think about stuff having to do with religion. But you know, when what's his name, Leopold sent the missionaries into the Congo, he got he had a
Leopold
letter
II.
that he wrote to the missionaries where he told them like, I remember what the guy said. He was saying stuff about how, you know, the Europeans, they like they actually intended to save the souls of black people when they were going to these different places with the Bible and so on. And I was like, no, they didn't. Them people they did not care about our souls, whatever. And you could tell
I
because
think
when you look at King Leopold's letter to the missionaries, he's literally, if you need it spelled out, if you can't tell by the actions, all the acts of atrocity that these people committed against us, if you need it to be in words, then King Leopold was there telling the missionaries, look, when you go into the Congo, listen, we already know these people got a God. This people got a God, that
facts.
people got a God. We
Facts.
already know that they
Don't
know
bother
right from
yourself. Don't
wrong.
worry. They already know God. Yeah.
Yeah, we already know all that stuff. They whatever. All you need to do when you go into the Congo is interpret the scripture to them in such a way that makes it so that basically you can manipulate them and take advantage of them and get the natural resources that's in the ground. Simple as that. Tell them stuff about, you know, loving poverty because it's, you know, more difficult for a blind man to make it through the eye of a needle than it is for him to make it into the gates of heaven and whatnot. Just tell them stuff about loving poverty and whatnot, because we're about to rob these people blind. So, and we need them to accept that. And that's all that it was about for them. It was just a big hustle. They didn't give a damn about black people's souls. So I don't agree with none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me either.
And I'm just saying that's the type of stuff that you see. You wouldn't come on here and promote certain kind of things like that as an Israelite, because it's not about conversion with Israelites. With Israelites, it's essentially ancestral religion, pretty
That,
much, just like
yeah,
with Africans in general.
right.
But the Christianity stuff, the Islam stuff and whatnot, that's about trying to convert people.
Yeah, that's messy.
And, yeah.
I mean, but we can't blame them. My thing is, and my defense is always gonna be, we can't blame the scriptures for that though. But you're saying Christians, yeah, I don't have no problem with that. They did do all that stuff, but it's not this. It's
I mean,
not the scriptures'
I
fault.
blame the scriptures. I blame the
Okay.
scriptures because there is a mandate in there to go and convert people. They have that stuff right there in the scriptures to go out there and convert people.
And it says if they don't convert, to kill them.
They got all kind of stuff in there that says that if you don't worship their God, that you are evil, wicked. If you worship idols, so on and so forth, you are evil, wicked, and deserving of death. That stuff is all through
It never
Eternal
says
damnation.
it never, yeah, but that's for God to decide. It never says for you to go out and smite these people because they're not converting. It don't say none of that in there. Even in the New Testament, I've never seen it. That's their
That's the
interpretation
stuff
of,
that they would.
oh, if they don't want to convert, we kill them.
That's the stuff they were doing. That's the stuff they
But
were
what?
doing. If you want to say
But
that,
wasn't that
hey,
what the?
God is supposed to do it, okay. But that's what they were doing, the humans.
Yeah, that's their misinterpretation. You know.
But wasn't that what
Well,
I could take a
you
I could
know,
take a car and run everybody over with my car, but the car ain't bad. It was the person that was using the car. The Bible's not bad. It's the people that are using it for their own gains. It's just like the Book of Eli. That's why he wanted the Bible so bad, so he can manipulate people. You know, it's the same
the
concept.
Bible is in the Bible. It's literally saying that people are evil and wicked
It
if they
does say
don't
that. I
worship
agree,
this God. If
but it
they
never says convert them, or if they don't convert, kill them.
Nah,
It
but
never says that.
the thing with that type of thing, the thing that's a slippery slope to me. It's just
Okay.
I
like
think you might can
with
find a part in
Ron
there that says that
DeSantis
though.
down in
I
Florida.
don't know
The
where,
man
but
is
you will find
constantly
it.
the man the man is constantly targeting black people when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
You know, attacking the history and whatnot. Came out with the whole slavery curriculum and whatnot. He's doing a lot of dog whistling to a lot of racists. And then you had the dude just the other day in Jacksonville tried to get into a HBCU, but they wouldn't let him. So then he went into a Dollar General and killed up a bunch of black people. And people are talking about, hey, the type of rhetoric that you have is, you know, it's setting a certain atmosphere that's making these people believe that
Gotcha.
it's
I see what you're
okay
saying.
for them to go out
Yeah.
and do this kind of thing.
You're saying the Bible set the pretext for what happened later.
If you're
That's what you're saying.
yeah, if you're calling people evil and wicked,
That's fair. No, that's
just for
fair.
not believing in the God and so on and so forth.
That's fair.
Yeah, because that isn't that why Canaan, the people in Canaan were slaughtered because they were worshiping some other god or whatever. Isn't that why? Because they were deemed to be
I
evil.
already broke that down right here, y'all.
Yeah, but
And
I'm just saying.
Shaka's still recovering from that. Shaka still got a knot on his eye right here from the last.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if somebody does something that certain people don't believe in, they think it's okay because their God said it's okay to do a particular thing to other people. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. This is not a new thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it still happens. It's still happening around the world. If you don't believe in certain religions and stuff, they'll put you to death. It's the same thing. It's the same. It hadn't changed over time. It's just done differently, probably. But once you label somebody, because if we were doing and we had all this knowledge and stuff back in the day, how did they get in there and make what we know today to be the true thing, or what they consider to be true, and everything? Because they said all that stuff was evil and false. They put a label on it, which caused then them to have this superiority, because all of a sudden now we know what's true. Those people over there were evil because they were worshiping the sun, or they were done, but they're doing the same thing, just a different way, right? So they're saying instead of the sun in the sky, well, we got a son of God, we got this man God. What's the difference? They just
Yeah.
now they want to force you to believe this guy over here, because they've labeled what we knew to be true as evil. So it's the same thing, and they still believe that. I've read a couple of stories online recently where missionaries have gone over. There's one lady who considered herself a nurse. She's killed 105 children over her. She wasn't even a doctor. She was just a nurse. I'm just saying they go over there and they want to say God is pro-life and all this other kind of stuff, but yet the endeavors that they go into are not true. They're not true to the heart. They're just true to the belief that they have, because they really believe that God loves everybody. Then they wouldn't have all this looking at certain people in a certain way and saying those people are evil, or those people are evil. If God loves everybody, then just leave people alone and let people figure it out for themselves. It's not for you to shove it down my throat and say either you believe this way or you're going, or this is your demise. And we all learn about what's good and what's bad, but you learn that from life experience can teach you some stuff. And you keep putting your hand in the fire, I guarantee you, after a while, you're gonna learn. I better not do that no more, because that burned, that hurt. There are some things that people don't have to teach you, right? It's just you learn it. You just learn through life that there are certain things that you don't need to be doing, that are not good for you as a person. So if you call somebody, if you say something that's wrong to somebody knocked the crap out of you, well, then you'll learn. Well, you might not want to say that. You just there's a certain thing. Life teaches you stuff that people could preach to you or teach to you all day long, but you got to just experience that. So that's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. Hey, Shaka, hold on. I seen a comment. Who was that comment? Who was that comment from, bro?
This one here.
Nah, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Nah, it ain't that. You know it ain't that, Shaka. Nah, the one that's yeah. Who's
Donnie
that?
Williams. You know Donnie Williams.
Donnie.
So what Andrew was saying today, people call it F around and found out, but we used to call it learning the hard way.
Oh man. So I'm cognitive. I have cognitive dissonance, bro.
He didn't say that. He wrote, "I stepped away."
Yeah, he did. He's talking about me.
He's cognitive dissonance in action. It's a question. It's not a statement.
He's talking, bro.
It's not an affirmation.
Donnie, come on down, man. Tell Shaka that you were talking about me with that. And you put it up, Shaka. You put it up right when I was done talking too.
Brother, you know how long ago that was, brother?
It was I was waiting. I was waiting patiently.
Yeah.
I was waiting, man.
But let me say this.
Hey,
I really enjoyed the convo.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
It's 11. It's 1 a.m. my end, and I work tomorrow morning. But thank you very much for being here. Efemi, did you want to say something?
I was gonna say I was getting out of here because it's dinner time.
All right, okay. But
Great show,
yeah,
guys.
thank you very much. Thank you, Jade, to Real, Efemi, Andrea, and the people in the chat. Divinely Inspired, Darlene Williams,
Andrea, see you.
V. Bennett.
All right, gentlemen.
Bye to you, Real. And big up, Shaka. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. Thank you. Peace, brothers and sisters. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you do not think right, you will not act right. If you know better, you will do better. Do it to do it. Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving medical nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening now and who's going going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class, and all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Nature class. Hotep. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.